Welcome everybody to episode 13 of Bombcast. I'm your host dkdynamite with our wonderful co-host Fajardi. How you doing, my friend?
Hello, I'm doing very well. It's been a very good last couple of days, especially with the release of season 4. And ready to get into this podcast.
And I'm happy we're doing an episode tonight because we almost didn't. I know you were a bit busy today, but thankfully we had some time to squeeze in a wonderful podcast here. And yeah, like you said, season 4 is off to a great start, at least in my opinion. You could disagree respectfully over in the comments or wherever you so please, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Reddit. But we've got a few topics to go through today. And I want to start with one that literally just came up before we started streaming. And that's the fact that popular YouTuber who covers Call of Duty, JGod, managed to get terminated from YouTube for apparently breaking terms of service or breaking community guidelines. His channel has now been reinstated after about, an hour? I mean, he has 1 million subs, so I wasn't expecting him to be down for too long. But I find it absolutely scary, especially doing YouTube full-time like myself, that your channel could be taken down for a mistake, as it seems, and then you have to wait until YouTube responds to you and puts it back up after an investigation. We're lucky it's a Friday. If this was like Saturday, maybe it would have took till Monday to get his channel back, but thankfully he is back. I mean, what do you think about that, man? Getting terminated out of nowhere for a mistake they can't even explain? I mean, what's going on with that, man?
I can't even, I saw the tweet. I saw him tweet out, oh, yeah, I just got that he got, terminated or a strike or whatever. I didn't read too much into it because I was doing a lot of stuff today, but it seems very very weird that just like that your channel could be gone and you could potentially not even get it back.
Right. So and it's one thing when you're already established. I mean, this shouldn't happen to anybody, don't get me wrong, but when you're already established, you got some good income, got some savings, alternate sources of income besides YouTube, you're like, all right, you might freak out, but at least you got your money saved. But let's say somebody like me kind of just getting into that mode, only being on YouTube full time at least for a good year and a half. I mean, losing your income for who knows how long is probably the scariest thing. But thankfully, yes, his channel is back. I mean, it's something with YouTube, man. It's one thing where it's like they have people focusing on certain avenues that don't matter at YouTube, but then you have serious issues like this that happen that just don't get addressed very much or don't get taken care of very often. That's one thing, man. You got people getting falsely struck and falsely taken down for doing their thing. I mean, I hope this never happens to even my worst enemy. I mean, that's something I would never wish on somebody who's doing it full time, especially. But I wanted to go into that real quick. It kind of leads into something I was talking about. I talked about this with you a bit off stream, a bit on the podcast before, but to kind of reiterate, I'm really hoping that the Vanguard reveal is a banger. I hope it bring some community interest in it, because from what I've seen, people that cover Vanguard, it doesn't matter who the channel is, it could be 1 million subs, it could be 100K, anybody that covers it doesn't seem to hit that juice with the YouTube algorithm. People either are not interested or YouTube's not pushing the content. Vanguard doesn't have much interest about, or in terms of the community right now, and I'm hoping the reveal changes people's minds about that, because I'm worried doing YouTube full time, doing Call of Duty full time. I'm hoping that this next year, even 2 years, when Modern Warfare sequel comes out, I'm hoping it's not one of those years where it's like, let's try to talk about Treyarch, talk about their game for 2023, let's try to move over to COD Mobile or Warzone. I'm hoping we can actually talk about mainstream Call of Duty without having to worry about numbers and community interest, you know what I mean? How do you feel about the Vanguard interest now? Do you think it's a bit sus? Do you think it'll pick up after the reveal? I mean, what's up with that one?
I think it's definitely a weird thing right now because there's interest for it, but it's like most of it's negative interest. It's not
for no reason.
Yeah, it's not like people are saying people are they're interested in it because it's gonna be a good game. They're interested in it because they think it's a bad game and they think it's gonna suck and they think it's gonna be this and they think it's gonna be that.
Right.
And I think it's setting the game off to a bad start for no reason.
Yeah.
Which really kind of sucks.
Yeah, and it's another thing, too, like we said, it's like people were comparing Vanguard to Battlefield. Battlefield somewhat revealed, we got some gameplay finally, but people were comparing an unrevealed game to another unrevealed game. Now that Battlefield got revealed, it's a topic we're going to touch on later in the podcast, but we're still in the same state where it's like, have you played the game yet? Have you seen extensive gameplay to judge it yet? Absolutely not. Vanguard's title's not even revealed. That's just the code name of the game right now. So from what it seems, based on the roadmap of Season 4, Vanguard's reveal will likely be in Season 5. I know Days of Summer leaked out a couple of weeks ago. That'll also probably be Season 5. I know for Modern Warfare last year, Days of Summer was, I think, Season 5 Reloaded, August 22nd, which is nowhere near that right now. So I have a big Season 5, big Season 6 coming up for Black Ops Cold without a doubt. We'll touch more on Vanguard deeper into the podcast. But I mean, let's talk about season 4 so far. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on the content that got released a couple of days ago? Do you think it's better than seasons 3, 2, and 1, or what do you think about it right now?
I think I haven't played a lot of MP. I haven't played a lot of the MP content, but I have played a decent amount of the zombies content that they released, which was a lot, by the way. For before people started saying in chat like, "Oh, no zombies content," they did release a fair amount of stuff. I've been enjoying that. I've been really liking it. I think the zombie side of it is definitely very strong this season, and from the looks of it, it seems like MP is getting a lot of love this season as well, especially on release with 3 new multiplayer maps. That's crazy. So. Right. I think it's so far it's a big W, and I think it's the best season yet.
Yeah, which people will still argue, oh, it's not enough content. And the way I saw it too, it's like I've been saying, even if they added, let's say 5 6v6 maps every season, I still promise people will say, oh, the maps are cool, but SVMM ruins the game. So it's like there's no way to please anybody with the content that drops. But looking at the roadmap, I mean, there's not a lot specifically left for Season 4 Reloaded, which we're also going to dive into towards the end of the podcast. But I'm glad they dropped this much all at once. I mean, I can't complain about it. I think in terms of multiplayer, it's the most content I think we got for a season. I think Season 1 may have had more if you count the gunfight maps, but this season seems to have a pretty good variety of different content, right? You have a new Combined Arms map, another 6v6, or 2 new 6v6. We then have the new Fire Team mode, which I do want to cover a little bit, maybe in a video this weekend. I'll figure out when I could do that. I think in terms of Warzone, though, Warzone got an interesting update. I know I had some fun on the new Verdansk Resurgence mode. You know, I mean, you like Rebirth Resurgence, so it played interestingly on Verdansk. It will just close off a section of the map and only put 40 players on it. We actually won, I think, 2 games of that, and a game of Rebirth back on stream. I mean, it was a ton of fun, man. The red doors, I wasn't able to find, though. I'm not sure if that's just pure RNG or bad luck on my end. I went to locations that people were claiming that they were at, but couldn't find them. I mean, overall, the season's off to a good start. And then you talk about zombies. I mean, damn. People kind of blew my mind. When I was streaming the other night with the launch of the season, got a lot of comments that were like, where's Modern Toten? Where's Modern Toten? And it kind of reminds me of that point I made like weeks ago with you. And I was like, there's people out there that may only watch YouTubers for their news. They don't follow Charlie Intel. They may not even have Twitter. And it just comes to a surprise to me that it's somehow not clear how that works. But you look at the roadmap and it does say Modern Toten in season. So it's people either not paying attention or people that get misled by maybe some clickbait content out there that exists. I mean, I don't know what it is, but people were still confused about that. I mean, I don't know how much more clear it's been made that, yeah, we're getting a Season 4 Reloaded probably in about a month. I would say July, 15th, 22nd. That's probably when this will end up dropping. These drop about a month in. What's up with the gifting system, though? I mean, do you have 2-factor on your account? Were you able to see the feature? I mean, what's up with that?
I have not added 2-factor yet. That's like the last thing on my priority list right now is getting gifting set up. So.
Yeah, I swear I had 2-factor enabled, but when I streamed the other day, clearly I didn't. But when I tried to activate 2-factor on my Activision account, the email it's supposed to send me never got sent, so I can't verify it. And then I know we had John Corusella, a wonderful member on the channel here. He's been around since the beginning, I think, of my streaming here on YouTube. That guy's been around for ages. He came into chat saying that he has 2-factor on, and he still couldn't give people the Season 4 pass. It was only showing the Season 3 pass. So I'm like, that's a feature I was looking forward to the most, which somehow isn't live. So I had 2 giveaway winners, which I had to pay through PayPal so they can get their battle pass. I wasn't able to gift them in the game like I wanted to, but whenever they fix that, chat, I can reassure you, I'll be doing some gameplay streams on Sundays, and I'll be doing some random giveaways. I want to give away as many battle passes as possible. There's people out there that don't have the privilege of being able to buy them with COD points, so I want to help people out and give back to the community that allows me to do this full time. I mean, I'm forever grateful for this ability to do YouTube full time, but yeah, and what about the battle pass? I mean, do you think it's the best battle pass yet? I mean, I think we're off to a strong start with some content, man.
Yeah, the battle pass is definitely. I think the Season 3 battle pass was a super strong battle pass. I think it was really good. I think it's the best one we've gotten in this game, and probably through all of Call of Duty so far. I think Season 3 was the best. Thinking about, I mean, Season 4 just has to be. It just has to be the best battle pass.
Yeah.
Because
right,
if you look at the value that you're getting now, last season, you had a reactive, that was cool, and now we're getting, more reactives and Mastercrafts, and especially the brand new thing they released, the ultra rarity operator skins, which
I want to see more of that, man. I want to see more of that.
I can't wait until they add more of the ultra rarity operator skins. It's going to be crazy.
That's another reason I want to do the podcast tonight. Was I'm like, look, let's review Season 4, which if we did the next week would be a little awkward, right? But yeah, there's some great skins coming. I mean, the C58 assault rifle is I think they're going to nerf it in Warzone. It's literally broken. I mean, when you see gameplay of this thing, when I was streaming the other night, I picked it up and I'm like, dude, this is broken. I feel like I was 3-tapping enemies with this. It was just literally broken. The LMG was...
It's broken.
It's broken too. Yeah, that's even more broken than C5A. I didn't use it too much, but Raven tweeted today that they're going to be fixing it because... And Cal made a joke of this. I got to pull this up real quick. Raven had tweeted that the what is it? I call it the Amelie. What is the LMG called? I just forgot. Holy
MG82.
Shit. The MG82. My God, I can't remember the name. Apparently went through the Pack-a-Punch one too many times. And there isn't element 115 allowed in Verdansk. I'm like, wait, Raven, hold up. 115 doesn't exist anymore. And Cal was like, we need a lore check on Raven's tweet. I'll pull this tweet up real quick. It's so funny. Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes you think, though, whenever weapons get ported to Warzone or whatnot, does extensive testing even happen? Or do they just kind of throw it in and let the community test it out and then they nerf it, whenever needed? I wonder, but they are going to nerf that bad boy. I will pull up Cal's tweet to this. It was so funny. Yeah, but the weapons I think were fantastic. Apparently the C5A isn't that great in multiplayer, but at least in Warzone it's nasty, so I'll definitely be running that as much as possible. The nail gun's also really fun. I think the nail gun, it's nuke worthy. I mean, what weapon isn't nuke worthy in Cold War? I'm going to be dropping as many nukes as possible. And they kept what we were waiting for, chat, the nuke streak from Die Hardpoint, Season 3 Reloaded. They've kept Die Hardpoint, renamed it to Cranked Hardpoint, and the nuke streak is still there. I'm like, thankfully, they're going to probably... I would say leave it in quick play once Season 4 ends or something. But yeah, at least they kept that because I'm like, nuclears are fun, but yeah, the nuke streak's even better. So yeah, I definitely think they've listened to our feedback in the best way possible. One thing I was a bit concerned about though was, I forgot his name. Treyarch Dev works on multiplayer. Why am I forgetting his name? Is his name Matt? I think his name's Matt, right?
Matt Scronce.
Matt Scronce, yes. Yeah, I knew something. Yeah, when I was listening to Season 4 broadcast, Matt Scronce is like, the map Collateral is the first combined arms map of the post-launch season. I'm like, it took till Season 4 to get another combined arms map. So I wonder if the player base isn't there for it. I guess Fireteam had more of a player base to combine arms. I'm not sure. But yeah, Collateral is the first 12v12 map since launch to be added in. So I'm not complaining. I think it's not exactly the mode I prefer to play, but Collateral Strike is, without a doubt, a beauty. I think it fits the aesthetic of Season 5 pretty well. And then we look at Hijacked. I mean, were you ever a big fan of Hijacked from Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3? I mean, how do you feel about Hijack?
I enjoyed playing it. It definitely is not a bad map to play. I mean, compared to Express, I don't know what they're thinking remastering that. when there was a whole bunch of... I don't get it either. Yeah. I mean, I know they're trying to just remaster BO2, but there's a lot of other stuff you can get in BO2 that you could have remastered.
So many maps.
Hijack, good map.
Right. And Rush, I would say Rush was one of the maps. I think I said it on the podcast a few months ago. I was like, look, Rush is a map from Black Ops 2 that I will accept a remaster for, if anything. That's a fan favorite for sure. Thank you so much, Captain Obvious. I also applied two-factor and didn't get my code. I tried to send a report, but I got an email from support saying wasn't the right use of the support system. What? Which I made sure it was. I don't know what to do. See, I'll tell you a problem with that, Mr. Obvious, is the Activision support Twitter page is no longer active. Back then, you used to be able to DM them whatever you want and get your problems taken care of. I think it was Season 2 or Season 3. They announced the Activision support Twitter page was shutting down. So I'm like, all right, now we're relying on the tickets through the email or their phone number, neither of which are easy to get a hold of. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with that feature. I'm hoping it gets fixed, at least by Reloaded. I want to give some battle passes. And you even get, I think, some XP bonuses from doing so. I mean, so I think if they fix that in the next couple days, hopefully, then I wouldn't be complaining about that one. But yeah, Hijack plays well. The hand cannon kill streak, I mean, wow. I have found my replacement for either the vest or the death machine. The hand cannon is literally disgusting. It is a broken piece of work. I have a lot of fun with that. Nukes are too easy with that. You run that, the War Machine Harp, and I mean, you're set. I mean, there's nothing you can complain about with that. So I think so far, this is my favorite multiplayer season out of the other ones we've gotten. I think Pines was good. Apocalypse was great. Yemental was cool, but I think seeing like a trio of Hijacked, Amsterdam, and Collateral were awesome. We played some gunfight on Amsterdam, and I was like, yeah, we could hit some clips with that. I actually retweeted people that screen recorded it. Quick tomahawks, quick snipes. I mean, it was fun. But yeah, rip Activision support in the chat. I saw some comments about that. Very sad about that one. I want to do the Easter egg again tonight. Maybe Fajardi will join us. I know Cajun might not have beat it yet. Sean did it solo. Try to get a squad tonight and do the Easter egg again. It's really replayable. So leads us to our next point now. Not only was Season 4 the biggest season yet, at least in my opinion, for Black Ops Cold War, but I think this is the strongest season for zombies in Black Ops Cold War thus far. So getting 3 Easter egg quests in a span of 2 months, I mean, how can you complain about that, right? It's like, would you rather have had a DLC 2 round-based map in February that would have dropped? Or not even February, it would have been after that, because February was Firebase. So maybe in like what, March, April-ish. DLC 2, round-based map, traditional egg, and then we wait all the way till late July to get DLC 3. I'm cool with seeing this expanded Outbreak, right, from February to now with multiple regions in, 2 Easter egg quests, lots of side Easter eggs. I mean, I'm cool with that. But talking about Operation Excision now, I mean, do you think, Fajardi, it has the title of Easter egg, or was it just more of like a bonus prologue for Berlin, whereas the first quest was more of an Easter egg with the boss fight and whatnot? Was it something a little bit extra, or is this on the same scale as the first quest? I mean, I have an opinion on it, but I'll let you lead the discussion real quick.
What do you think? That's a very tough question, because story-wise, I think story-wise, it's 2 Easter eggs. There's so much story packed into the Easter egg. It's crazy.
Right.
But gameplay-wise, I really like the Easter egg. I love playing it. I think it's really fun, even though I've tried to do it twice now and I've died solo. I think it's really fun. I think the steps are awesome, but I think it's just a little bit short, which is fine. I'm completely fine with that because I know it's a prologue to the bigger picture, so I'm completely fine with that. But yeah, I think I probably will consider an Easter egg because the story is just so rich in it. It teaches you so much and tells you so much about what's to come, and the cutscene too. That's an Easter egg cutscene.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I'm on the fence of saying that the first quest felt more like an Easter egg because it was a boss fight in that sense, but the second quest was just something I consider it a bonus. I mean, I'll give you an example that's kind of unrelated, but Spider-Man Far From Home, right? To me, that movie's an epilogue to Avengers Endgame. It's a standalone Spider-Man film, which I'm a fan of, but to me felt like a real true epilogue to Phase 3, kind of just closing off, the MCU arc from the 23 film arc as we know it, and it kind of served that purpose there. Whereas this here was directly tying into Berlin, Maud, or Toten. I think I would have preferred if maybe our helicopter flew over Berlin, we see it in the ending cutscene, and then we get shot down and then it would say on screen to be continued, like Gerard Crovey leading into Revelations. I think that would have been a little bit cooler, but rip our boy Raptor 1, man. I mean, that kind of hurt. I'm not gonna lie. He's like an almost unimportant character at certain stages when you describe him, but he helped us out. The Machina, Firebase, first Outbreak quest. I mean, he was there
every time he went to exfil.
Every time he was there. And I made a joke. I'm like, I put it in my video I posted tonight. He was there for people more than their own fathers, man. I mean, let's be real here, dude. Raptor 1 was there more than people's dads out there who may have went to get cigarettes and never came back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Raptor 1 was the guy.
I was actually sad when that happened. I mean, he's not confirmed dead, but it's looking pretty likely how he's
because he kind of stuttered a bit when they pulled him out of the wreckage. I mean, he could be alive, but then if he's alive, what role does he have in Maud or Toten, right? We're gonna be spawning in as our crew, probably being led by Omega now, not Requiem. Kravchenko's in charge now of whatever's going on. Where would Raptor 1 fit in? Would he be a prisoner? I mean, that would be even more fucked up. If he's a prisoner in Berlin somewhere, and we have to look at him die again or something like that. That would hurt. Don't dig the knife in somewhere, man. Don't dig the knife in. Let's talk about your render real quick. I'll pull it up real quick. Look at that.
Well, yeah, I was gonna segue into that. I was gonna say, I was actually so sad. I decided I had to make some type of tribute, and I tweeted out, just kind of. I just wanted to tweet it out because I wanted to show some appreciation, and it seems like a lot of other people did as well, and it got a lot of attention, a lot of likes,
right?
Which I don't necessarily care about, but I appreciate all the support.
Absolutely incredible, man. I'm glad you're getting that attention.
Very grateful.
Yeah, I'm glad that people are seeing the kind of work you're putting on, man. Everybody has a different style anyway, no matter if it's videos, renders, anything out there. So I'm glad that we're emphasizing that over on Twitter. But I think before we jump into hypocritical communities and where is the story, before we jump into that, I do want to say with Operation Excision, I find it really, really funny how Eric's theory came true yet again. I mean, the lore chat, guys, if you haven't joined that lore chat Discord, I have a link in the description to my video that I post a little bit. I mean, they theorized the sanatorium or the other side of the island would be the Easter egg area similar to Ruka and the bunker from the first Outbreak quest. They theorized that a couple of weeks ago, and that came true perfectly to a T in the second quest, which is awesome. I mean, it just shows you when you actually care about what's going on in Black Ops Cold War, if you care about the story or the story being told at the very least, if you care at all, you could find something there to theorize about. People out there I see saying, "Oh, you can't theorize about the story anymore. There's no suspense." And I'm like, there actually is. But you got to look for it. It's just like the way it was in Black Ops 1, 2, and a tad bit of 3. You know what I mean? But Black Ops 3 and 4, it really spoils with the cinematics, the cutscenes. People are expecting that with Cold War. It's just not happening. You know what I mean? And it's one thing to have an opinion. You might not like what's going on. Totally respect that. But there is a big story being told, which I got sent paragraphs. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, you can't see my hands right now, but I got sent massive paragraphs this big from the lad himself, Cal Jitsu, who, by the way, was one of the first people to beat, or was the first person to beat the Operation Excision Quest. He sent me paragraphs this big. And God bless him. I mean, I got to thank him again for my video tonight of just a recap of everything that happened in the second quest alone. There's a lot going on. So you may not care about it, but the story's there. You know what I mean? And I even think, I said this before, I think it was my last stream. I was like, look, even if they had a set crew. Oh, Sam Clear, thanks for the dollar donation, my guy. I appreciate that. Even if they had a set crew, let's say it was like World War II style, where it's 4 celebrities. There are a main cast for all maps in the season. Let's just say they pulled a World War II and did that. Even if they were a main crew with dialogue, traditional interactions, I guarantee you people will still be complaining, oh, it's not Ultimate, it's not Primus. Tag deniers who refuse to believe Tag Toten was the true ending of that arc would still say, oh, dude, we need a crew, it's not the same. I mean, Chaos is your best example. Chaos was what Outbreak is today, which is something that is new, fresh, but different, and people just aren't going to appreciate for another couple of years. You know what I mean? Do you think, though, because Outbreak is such a expansive feature of zombies now, it's probably going to be the way zombies works in the future, will this be accepted differently from Chaos in a couple of years, or do you think it's going to go down the same boat where people just hate on it no matter what for the next couple of years anyway? Or do you think it has potential to kind of enlighten the community maybe in COD 2023? I mean, what are your thoughts on that one?
I kind of noticed that the hate surrounding Chaos was that, I mean, the main thing about it was that it wasn't Ether.
Right.
Like, people were just like, oh, this is not Ether, we don't want this. And now basically we're in fast forward to the Dark Ether storyline, where it's like, I don't understand. There's enough substance there for it to, like, it's still technically like connected. Like, they're slowly starting to bridge little things, especially with the introduction of Eddie coming. So I don't understand. I don't think that people would view it like Chaos just because it's sort of connected in that way.
Right.
But with Outbreak, it's such a different thing. It's clearly appealing to a broader and bigger player base. So it's
right.
I kind of don't think it has to be accepted by, for example, the people that would have been around during Chaos, because that's such a small portion of the community now. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I mean, I was laughing so hard at people that were kind of coming out and saying, oh, you know, Mauder Toten, it's being ripped out of the campaign. And I'm like, where have you been? I mean, I'm not trying to say this in a condescending way either, but it's almost like, where have you been throughout the entirety of Call of Duty Zombies? Zombies has always been about that. Zombies originated as a reused asset kind of mode, right? Reusing parts of campaign and repurposing that for zombies. The thing is, and I think we described this perfectly, it might have been the episode with Eric and Cal, actually, ironically, where Black Ops 3, in my opinion, was, I would argue, the first Zombies iteration where it felt so disconnected from campaign and multiplayer. Because campaign, you had jetpacks, futuristic storylines, multiplayer, again, futuristic. Zombies was very grounded on its own 2 feet, much different than the campaign and multiplayers of Black Ops 3, without a doubt. It used the same weapons, of course, and it was very different. Black Ops 4, I think, was the first game to kind of go back to the whole, let's kind of interconnect everything and make everything feel like it's a part of the same game, right? Like Black Ops 4 Zombies, you get that little vibe of Blackout in multiplayer with being able to use your mastercrafts and your skins, and the gameplay feels different. Black Ops 3 felt so disconnected from the other modes in the game. Black Ops Cold War, more than ever, feels like it has mechanics of multiplayer Warzone, but that's intentional. Activision wants that because it's working business-wise for them to connect everything, unify it. You get the most player base possible out of all the modes. That's what they want. So they're going to stick with it, and it's working. The thing is, it's working. So it's like, we say this all the time. It's people that are complaining. It's like, I would save my spit at this point, man. I mean, you can have your opinion, voice it respectfully, but harassing devs, and I don't see a purpose in voicing this strong opinion that just doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It just, or voicing it in a way that's disrespectful, at least. That's kind of my take on it. But I want to play the clip that I'm sure you're thinking about. I'm going to play that, and then we'll get back to this. But a bit of a disclaimer: this isn't hating on the creator. This isn't something I'm like, oh, go attack him or tweet him. It's not what this is. But this is a video that I think perfectly emphasizes the problem with not just zombies, but even with the multiplayer and Warzone sides of things, where the community asks for something, gets it, but then complains about it not having XYZ in it. Like, they want it perfectly to a T, to their standards. Not the way the world works, you know what I mean? So let's play this clip that I find absolutely hilarious. Here we go.
If you want to change this point to emphasizing gameplay, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Because I don't want storyline for this.
I forgot to put my window capture. Let me fix that, chat. Here you go. So by the way, context. This is a video. The first part of this video is a little top 10 things that are a must-have for Black Ops 5 Zombies. Lex posted this a little while back. Let me play this in full if you missed it.
If you want to change this point to emphasizing gameplay, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Because I don't want storyline for this next game to take the central focus. I really don't think anybody cares for anything Chaos related, even if it's Ether that is brought back, which is most likely going to be the case. I think the storyline needs to be pushed aside. That personally makes me frightened, because when you look at Cold War Zombies in general and you look at the story, like I said, where is the story?
I love the way the ending is. Where is the story? So it's like I said, I'm going to emphasize it again because people out there are going to take this the wrong way. This isn't me saying I don't like Lex or I'm hating on people. What that video shows me is that you look back less than a year ago, if not a year ago, right? When Modern Warfare was active, people said, here's what we should see in Treyarch's next title for multiplayer Zombies Warzone. Treyarch delivered on pretty much all the notes. They were answering the feedback of Black Ops 4. Because it's like I said, Black Ops 4, look at the zombies, for example. People were saying, all right, the Easter eggs are too hard, too story-driven. We need more gameplay. We need more fun quests. We need some survival maps with no Easter eggs. What does Black Ops Cold War do? It brings us a less clustered menu with customization options, less perks, less confusing, classic system everybody was asking for, more gameplay, casual-driven quests. It answered the feedback of Black Ops 4 perfectly. I mean, I even see this with multiplayer. People are like, we want this in multiplayer, we want that. And Treyarch does it, and like, oh, but SPMM ruins it, who cares? It's like, what are the devs supposed to do at this point? I mean, another reason I want to bring up that clip is because I think the sheep mentality, or just the follower effect that you see with big channels like that is the content creator could have his own opinion, his or her opinion, without a doubt. But then you have blind followers that just immediately repeat that, don't have critical thinking skills, will just repeat what they hear from their favorite YouTuber, and they'll just completely just spread that information or that opinion or the negativity all around Twitter, Reddit, wherever they can. And what does that lead to? It's just a downward spiral, which is what caused Black Ops 4 to fail, I guess you could call it, right? I mean, if Black Ops 4 was massively successful, crazy successful, do you think even with Treyarch working on COD 2020, would they have hired more devs to keep Black Ops 4 active? I mean, what do you think about Black Ops 4, man? Do you think they would have kept the game alive more, kept some budget in it if it was as successful as Modern Warfare, let's say? I mean, what would have happened to that game? Or they just left it the way it was?
Well, first off, I see some people saying some hate against Lex. Just please don't.
Yeah, because that's not what we're going for at all. That's not what we're going. We never go for that either.
It's just a funny clip. It's just a fun, like DK said, it's just kind of like to show
perfect reflection of
people.
The community.
Yeah. People answer one thing, and then when they get it, they want like, oh no, we want to go back to what we had before, but didn't want then.
Yeah, but didn't want then. But it's like, I think people also forget Black Ops 3's era, right? With the popularity, getting more views on YouTube, whatever they want to say. That was also a pre-Fortnite era. What were the kids playing before Fortnite? They were playing a little bit more COD than anything else. Zombie. So you look at that, and people just also can't accept, not only has the game changed quite a bit, but the community very much has as well. You know what I mean? In more ways than another, because of other games, competition. I mean, we can talk about this all day, why the community has changed since 2015, 2016. And people also miss the days when they were young, didn't have responsibilities. They miss the days when their mom brought them pizzas while they're playing zombies with their friends at 12 a.m. I mean, people miss those memories. Not necessarily missing the game itself, but miss that era, that time when they were alive. So again, that's another reason for the nostalgic comments. But it's like I said, we're not aiming to hate on creators and call them out and be like, oh, we're better. That's not what we're going for here. What we're saying is the clip itself is hypocritical. It's funny, but I think it's worth holding people accountable for these double standards too, because you have the sheep mentality, you have the follower effect where people are just going to repeat this without having critical thinking skills. I'm like, can you take 5 minutes, think about what you're saying here? You're saying something last year about what you want. You get it in this game, but you're saying you wanted the opposite. I mean, can people remember what they asked for less than a year ago? I don't get it, man. But I said this, I think episode 1 of this podcast, Treyarch always answers the feedback of their last game with their next one. At least Treyarch does. Sledgehammer might not, Infinity Ward might not, Treyarch does. I guarantee you they do. I mean, going from Black Ops 3 to 4, everything Black Ops 3 didn't have, Black Ops 4 had. Fact. You can't even dispute it. You talk about, oh, we want more perks, you want more of this, you want more of that. Black Ops 4 had it. Want more maps, want more remasters, Black Ops 4 had it. You know, we can go off on that all day. But and again, it's like that joke going on, like, oh, BO3 stands are toxic. It's one thing where you can like Black Ops 3, you can love Black Ops 3, whatever you want. But I haven't seen a person online at least say I like Black Ops 3 and I like what they're offering with Cold War. I always see Black Ops 3 best game, drop more maps in that game, as if that makes any sense in 2021, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, the vocal majority you see online may say Black Ops 3 is the best game ever, but to Activision's numbers, from what we understand, from Activision's investors' calls, Cold War's killing it, whether anybody likes it or not. So, especially with Warzone being active, with Modern Warfare being one of the top Call of Duties ever that we know of, the fact they didn't give that game a year two at all to any capacity kind of tells me that they're not really interested in year two. They're interested in bringing out a new COD every year like they usually do, integrating that with Warzone, and then kind of keeping that momentum, as far as possible. That's my observation, but what do you want to say about that?
I saw a comment in the chat. They said they know the community wants more survival-based maps, but they decided to update Outbreak instead. I mean, it goes back to like investors call and everything. The release of Outbreak has made zombies have the highest player count of all time. They literally said that in the investors call. I mean, you could choose to believe that or not, or you can choose to say maybe it was just one day where it was extremely high. But the fact of the matter is that Outbreak is most likely going to be the next big thing for zombies. Not saying round-based is going to go anywhere. I like round-based, but it's just Outbreak is just so unique in the sense where it's like, especially for COD too, like if you see open world in COD, that's never been together before, but now it is together. And it's
I want to say a problem.
very special.
A problem too is if the vocal majority you see on Twitter and Reddit are saying we want more round-based maps, but Activision's numbers are telling them that people are playing Outbreak more, then it's a no-brainer what they're going to do next. But another thing too is it's like I see with the whole, we want jetpacks next COD, we want Advanced Warfare 2, we don't want World War II Vanguard. You got to remember, right? If the community in 2018 or 2017 says we want more boots on the ground, we want more traditional COD, we want this, we want that, they're going to work on that for a couple of years. CODs take 3 years-ish to make, right? So they'll start working on it at that point, 2018, 2017, whatever. The game will drop 2021, 2022. If you start complaining a couple of months before the game's about to drop, oh, we don't want that, we want this, they can't just turn that around in 2 months and come out with that game. So if people said we wanted more boots on the ground World War II era games in 2017, and they're coming out with one this fall, you can't just say it now this summer, oh no, we actually want Advanced Warfare 2 jetpacks. They can't do that in 2 months. So if you want that and you voice it enough, maybe they'll end up doing that for their next cycle of Call of Duties in a couple of years. But it's people that it's a time issue. It's like a time gated issue here because the community may want something, but then by the time it drops, they don't want it anymore. It kind of reminds me of the remakes in Black Ops 4 Zombies, for example, right? Because Chronicles was so successful that people wanted a Chronicles 2. They asked Blundell for it at a panel pre-reveal, I think, of Black Ops 4. And Black Ops 4 launches with 2 remakes, and essentially Black Ops 4 as a whole is a Zombies Chronicles 2, minus the Victus maps, of course. People asked for that pre-release of Black Ops 4, so they got it. But then by the time the maps are in development, ready to come out, oh, we don't want that anymore. We don't want remakes anymore. It's like, how can devs win? They can't snap their fingers and make things happen and change things like that overnight. It doesn't work that way. So it's a good point to make with that, but I want to leave the discussion real quick on I think something you emphasize enough on Discord and whatnot, but people that are saying, oh, we need the ROM-based map now, we need the perk now, and then you're like, how long are you going to play the map for? 3 days? And I mean, leave that discussion real quick on what you've been seeing with this cringe. What's up with that, man?
I mean, it all goes back to the main point where, if you're saying the game sucks for X, Y, and Z reasons, please add more maps. You still got those X, Y, and Z reasons you hate the game for. Yeah. So, and if anything, it seems like people are basing Easter eggs, or Easter eggs have the validity or the validity of the map of the maps now, which doesn't make any sense, by the way. It's never made sense at all how an Easter egg makes a map good, because, or especially the hunt. I think I should specify the hunt makes the Easter egg good, right? Because the hunt usually lasts like a day. People got mad that the Revelations hunt was too long, so I don't really get that. Does that make the Revelations Easter egg good because the Easter egg was long? No, nobody cares about it now. That was in 2017, 2016. Jesus Christ.
So long ago,
people are still playing that game too.
People are still playing it. I mean, Easter egg hunts is another can of worms, man, that I cringe at, because let's be honest here, folks, right? Let's be honest here. the era of Easter egg hunting, the way that it was toxic during Black Ops 4, Black Ops 3, those days are over. Number one, to squash all BS and all opinions on this, let's squash some things real quick. Without achievements, you'll never know who's actually first to anything. Without achievements, you'll never know. Because you can't go on PSN trophies or XboxAchievements.com and see the first person who got that trophy for a new Easter egg. Getting rid of achievements, that to me, that just killed any the word you just said, validity to the Easter egg hunts, right? Knowing who's actually a world's first. So world's first doesn't matter. And people are gonna say, "Oh, but you said you got world's first on classified." I did, because who else in the United States or the globe had the cutscene on their TV before I did? Nobody. Used the glitch to do it because the game was broken. End of discussion. That's already known by this point, right? The world's first drama, it's over. It shouldn't exist anymore for this game, especially. But you talk about hunts, right? Is a map better if the hunt lasts a whole day, if not a little bit longer? I mean, from what I've heard from people on the inside, guys, I'm not gonna name any names. Content creators have admitted, big ones that is, and I've heard this firsthand. Content creators out there have said, we want the hunts to last longer because we'll make more money. We'll be able to stream longer. We'll be able to monetize the hunt longer. That's all they care about is the money. Nobody actually cares about, let's keep hunting this fucking random rock in the middle of outer space for a week. Nobody cares about that. It's about the money. It's a business thing. Who wants the hunts to last long? The content creators. When the content creators complain about this, their sheep followers are going to just say, without critical thinking, we need the hunts to last longer. It's not fun anymore. And it's another thing, too. And another big point to add to that is like, look, when it comes to an Easter egg hunt being easy or the steps being easy, what would you rather have? The game guiding you to these easy steps? Or would you rather to be hard steps in game where you have to use a guide on YouTube or a puzzle solver website to do the steps? Either way, you're being guided. Either way, you're making the Easter eggs easy. We need Black Ops 3 quests. But what about all the get out of jail free cards with Gobblegums, which are also pay to win? It's like, people don't take that into account when they're arguing this. It's like, if you want to have a healthy debate, have a healthy debate. But at least bring some arguments into this. It's not me knowing more than you. It's just bringing some evidence into this. You want some Garage Krovi Valve steps where you have to pull up a fucking website to solve the step. Who wants that? I don't know anybody that wants that. Morse code. You remember this clearly? World War II zombies. How much Morse code was in World War II zombies Easter eggs? Do you remember how much Morse code was in every single fucking map? Morse code.
I never did any of the Easter eggs. So
I marathoned them all like less than a year ago. I remember doing this, and I remember my chat saying this. I remember everybody on Twitter and Reddit saying this. We're sick of Morse code. We're sick of Samantha Says. We're sick of these complicated ass steps where you have to look up websites and YouTube videos or give these assholes on YouTube views to learn how to do something. People were saying that. Now we go back to this casual approach where anybody can do it. My mom could fucking do the Easter egg. I'll teach her how to do it. She'll get it done in a couple tries. You know what I mean? And I don't have a problem with that. You're opening up the world of zombies to more people. How is that bad? You want these long hunts. It's like, for what? So you can make videos, or so you can make guides, so you can stream for your benefit? What about the benefit of everybody else who can't do quests like Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4? You're telling me a casual's gonna do Blood of the Dead? No. No one's doing Blood of the Dead.
True.
And Blood of the Dead's regarded as one of the toughest quests ever. Not because the steps are hard, because it's tedious. You have a lot to do. A lot to set up on. I mean, when I did the Spork Knife quest and the main Easter egg in Blood at the same time, dude, that's a 3-hour game. Do casuals have that kind of time or patience or skill to do that? No. So it's like nobody thinks about these things when they're arguing. We want to do. It's like, why? Why do we have to go back to that? We're not going to either. That's just a fact now with the numbers coming out. But go ahead.
Something I read in chat, and I've said it before on the podcast, but it's by Little Extra, he's in the lore chat. So shout out lore chat. He said people called Cold War easy, but they used near death
and shopping free.
I was going to say that they used near death experience and shopping free.
Dude, and what's so funny about that is Black Ops 4's elixirs to me were more inaccessible than the Black Ops 3 Gobblegums because there was no Newton's cookbook. So Black Ops 3 was truly the pay-to-win game where you could just fucking burn through gums like nothing. You could just pay somebody to put a bunch of liquid dividiums on your account if you're on PC and shit too. It's like Black Ops 4, you had elixirs, but they got added slowly, and there was no cookbook. Cold War, there's nothing like that. So it's like, dude.
I mean, realistically, I don't understand what makes Cold War zombies quote unquote like easy, because I mean obviously it's a lot with the stuff they've added like field upgrades kind of make it a little bit easier. But
go ahead,
yeah. I was gonna to wrap up what I was gonna say, because I could talk about this for a while, but it's just crazy to me how people can say this is easy when it's like, I mean, high rounds get hard. The game gets hard if you're not upgrading your stuff. You're not constantly getting your armor upgrades you need, it gets quite hard. You gotta stay on top of the ball, which is something where Black Ops 3 is just kind of like your shield breaks. Oh, I gotta get another shield. I gotta pop my gobble gum. I gotta have my self medication. I gotta have my shopping for the. It doesn't really make sense to me in that sense, but yeah, you can go ahead now.
I think it's one thing when there's toxicity, talking shit like that on Twitter and Reddit, but then when I think I get annoyed when the content creators spread it and repeat this garbage because the sheep followers just continue that same garbage all over the internet. It's the constant trend of that, but that's the way the internet works. What you can do about that? But I mean, it's a tough conversation to have sometimes, man. It's like it blows my mind with the lack of. I think to me the biggest thing to me is lack of critical thinking. Just think for yourself, verify information for yourself before speaking some nonsense like that. I mean, it's frustrating, man. It's like you want to go back to those games, but that's not the future at all for this mode. I mean, how many times I got to talk about that? And then with Easter egg hunts too, it's like whatever. It gets solved in an hour, it gets solved in 2 hours, 3 hours. Is that any different from 6 or 7 hours? Is it? I mean, Revelations. Do you remember Revelations when the hunt was on for a week?
Everyone was pissed.
There was people saying there wasn't an egg at all. That we were getting trolled. I'm like, that almost was believable because of how stupid it was. And I knew from the get-go once it would get solved, the egg may be popular for a couple of years, but people are gonna say, "Wow, like really?" Like that's and then the ending that we got for that egg pissed people off too. People don't remember what happened during that year at all, man. People that are trash talking on this game, it's like it's ridiculous, dude. But you could even tie this into again other modes in the game too, where people have their complaints. They want XYZ and then it gets delivered and it's just not good enough. I mean, what is going to be good enough for these people anymore? It's just literally, who are these people? I mean, how do you even have this conversation without sounding condescending or sounding egotistic? We're not trying to sound like that, but that's how silly all this shit is. It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. And it's like, I hear Black Ops 3 come out of somebody's mouth and I cringe at this point. I cringe. I really do. I hear that word and I cringe. Oh, the story was told better. How? I mean, look at the Horizon Drac, the Easter egg, right? The story's told you through a series of steps. Right? Instead of seeing, you got a flashback of whatever the hell not Steiner, what the hell is his name? Forgot to do his name, the Horizon Drac already, it's been too many years. When you're doing the time travel step, you see him talking, get the code, Samantha says, blah, 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 the golden rods. It's a cool Easter egg. It's a really cool Easter egg. It tells a nice story. Coldwar's doing the same thing, just a little bit differently. It's not showing you in a cinematic form, but the intel's in your face. What did you say before? It gives it to you after doing objectives. Like
it literally gives it to you.
Yeah.
Right in your face, always. You get it from killing bosses. You get it from just killing things. Something required to play zombies is killing things.
Yeah.
So that's funny.
I'll tell you a good point that we talked about this. I think when we were playing last week. People out there that are like, we want more round-based maps, right? We need more round-based maps. Outbreak sucks. They'll say that, right? But then they'll also say Cold War Zombies sucks. So I'm like, which one is it? Do you like the game that much where you want more round-based maps, or do you like the game at all to where no matter what they add, you're not going to be happy with it? I see this all the time where people are like, oh, this game's bad, BO3, best game, but I want more round-based maps. So you do like the game. It's like, why do you want more round-based maps then if you don't like the game? It's like at the core, it's like you said this too, at the core, if you don't like the gameplay, what the hell is going to impress you with Outbreak's eggs, Maud or Toten? What could they do for you? Tell me what they could do for you that'll impress you. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So... Season 4 broadcast from Treyarch was awesome. I mean, they went through all the modes flawlessly. The interview they did with Julie Nathanson, the voice actress of Samantha, was a little emotional. I mean, she was holding back tears. The way they made it sound was like a departure for her. So I'm curious if she's going to die in Maud or Toten. I mean, you could theorize that right now, but I feel like it's too soon to kill off Sam. I feel like we just got back into the roots of things with Dark Ether and getting, her into the picture and her as a main character. So I hope they don't kill her, but, she should have a big role, Maud or Toten, without a doubt. I mean, hope she doesn't use her energy and kill herself on accident or something. I don't know. Or the accursed one comes out, plot twist, and stabs her. Like, imagine. Very curious what's going to happen with Samantha there, but Maud or Toten's about, I would say, a month away. Not too far from that at all. I like how the first quest was like Samantha-driven a little bit. The second quest is more Ravenoff, Shanko-driven. It's like, depending on who talks to you with the telephone in the Easter egg itself. I will pull up the gameplay reveal because the countdown has begun to Maud or Toten DLC 3. And the gameplay, I thought was pretty spicy. I mean, I'm going to talk more about this in my video tonight. I do have a zombies-focused video coming out in a little bit. We got to look at the underground tunnel. I found it funny because people out there were like, oh, it's just U-Bahn. I'm like, come on, dude. It's just U-Bahn expanded. Like, no, it's not just that, man. But the city looks beautiful. I mean, you can see that radio tower in the distance which is also on Chronicles Kino. It's a big point we're going to bring up in tonight's video. So that kind of confirms, it's like right here in the, let me pause it on the right frame. It's right there at the very top left, as you guys can see, if you could see this. And it kind of confirms we'll at least see the Kino Theater somehow in this map, whether it's from a distance, whether we get to go into the theater. I mean, it's all of Berlin. It's East Berlin. Varuk's apparently going to be a part of this. I mean, this map looks gorgeous so far. It's going to be a bit creepy. I saw some weird comments of like, oh, the train's going to bring you to transit. I'm like, what? Transit's not in Berlin, my guy. But I saw some goofy comments. What were you going to say?
I was going to read a comment real quick that said, unpopular opinion, I'd rather pay for DLC maps than have a free battle pass. Did you play Black Ops 4? I'm just going to put that out there because you just explained Black Ops 4.
That's literally like, yeah. Which, again, if you like Black Ops 4, then hey, maybe you like that game better, which I respect because I like that game's black market better than with the bundles we have now. But the biggest thing I saw during Black Ops 4 was, oh, we don't want to pay for maps anymore. It should be free. We want this. Now they're free. Now there's no season pass. But the battle pass is
Rick Toten. I see some people also talking about Rick Toten and Mauer Toten. Rick Toten isn't a character in this story.
Yeah,
they're not. He's just not. It's Eddie. Eddie's not the same person as Rick Toten, and they've made it very clear multiple times.
Craig made it very clear that if an Eddie comes around, it's not going to be Rick Toten that we know from previous games. But hey, they could surprise us. They'll North come out of nowhere, get hired. I wouldn't complain. But from what I can say, I definitely think Eric's theory stands real strong to me, which is that we could see a child Eddie who got maybe left in the Dark Ether. Maybe he didn't go through that white light that we thought he did at the end of the tag. Maybe he didn't make it to the other side. Maybe he's a demented child now, stuck in there, controlling things. I mean, we have some intel that I'm going to touch on real quick now that I mentioned in my video tonight. Cal made this really clear. What we learned from new intel is that the Accursed One wasn't in charge of the Dark Ether, as we just learned a couple of days ago. There's hierarchies in the Dark Ether, and the Elder Gods were at the top of the hierarchy, fighting for control, for leadership. And the Accursed One, as we learned, is winning. He's about to take control. Who was in control before? So I'm wondering if when Eddie went through the light at the end of tag, did he not make it to the other side, got stuck in the Dark Ether, became evil like Samantha was in Black Ops 1, was like a demented child in control of things? Was that how that worked? I mean, lots of questions with this. So, yeah, I mean, Rick Toten aside, I think we'll get an answer to what the hell's going on with Eddie and Mauer Toten, but we'll save that discussion for another time. I think gameplay-wise, though, we're looking at a very spicy Season 4. But like I said earlier, I'm kind of confused with people that were asking a lot, oh, where's the map? Where's the map? I thought it was dropping tonight. I'm like, how clear was it made? From the blog post, the roadmap, the trailer, I mean, it was made very clear when this map's coming. So I'm kind of confused on the release date controversy going on right now.
I mean, talking about like releasing maps and such, another comment from the same guy that said like the pay for map stuff. He said, yes, but would you rather pay for better quality maps instead of the money Activision makes from the battle pass just going into skins bundles? I'm pretty sure whether we paid for it or not, we would still got Firebase Z exactly how it is. I don't think anything would have changed there.
I don't think paying for the maps changes anything. The only thing it does change is getting a guaranteed little description that says how many maps you're going to get from paying for this pass for the season. That's the only thing that would change, is getting to know how many maps are coming, which I almost don't want to know. A part of me doesn't even want to know. Like back there in Black Ops 4, it kind of sucked when we kind of heard the rumors that Treyarch's moving on to COD 2020 and the Chaos is getting cut short. I'm like, wait, there's only 2 more maps left of the Black Ops Pass. What the hell are they going to do? Finish Chaos off or go back to Ether for just 2 more maps? Like, I was a little upset about that. Whereas now, the stakes are high. We're like, we don't know what's coming. I mean, I'm cool with the mystery, the suspense. I'll take whatever they throw our way. But I think it's also worth mentioning, too, that, you know, something that almost bothers me sometimes, which I touched on a bit before, but it bothers me when I see, oh, you know, you're ass-licking the devs. You're a paid shill. I never seen anybody talk so highly of Cold War except you. It's like, can I just like the game that I'm covering and enjoy it for what it is? I mean, there's always a story that people need to see of, oh, why don't you disagree? You know, why don't you agree with the fact the game sucks? I mean, I don't think the game sucks. It's like, I'm appreciating this game as much as possible now because we don't know what the future holds for Call of Duty content. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, like, we don't know if Vanguard's gonna pop off. I mean, I don't think it's gonna flop. The game will sell well. But I'm talking about community interest on YouTube. Will that interest be there? Now you have competition dropping this year too, other games dropping. It's not going to kill COD, but competition is going to be there. So will Vanguard pull off enough? Keep interest there on YouTube. I mean, we don't want to have a year of YouTube content, at least from my perspective, where we're just kind of rehashing shit and making content that we can possibly make up. You know, not making things up like faking things, but kind of just picking for straws and, you know, stretching things. We don't want to be like that. We want to be able to cover the game and be healthy. So it's risky. It's scary to think about. So that's why right now I'm just enjoying Cold War to the fullest, covering as much as I can. There's content I know that I would want to make, but it doesn't fit into the schedule sometimes, or it's just something my channel can't handle. I mean, there's content that I want to experiment with, but YouTube is scary to do sometimes. It's scary to experiment with content you're not accustomed to making, you know. So yeah, liking the game isn't allowed apparently. I mean, what's hypocritical is that people can voice their opinion saying BO3 best game, everything else sucks. But then if we say the new game's good, we're the dumbasses, right? It's like how do you win with people out there like that? I mean, I don't get it. Go ahead.
I mean, bombshell take here, and I know you'll agree with it as well. But I think the Dark Ether story is more rich and is better than the original Ether storyline. I truly believe that, and especially after especially getting a prologue for a map.
An extra Easter egg on
an extra Easter egg for an entire map. Have we ever gotten that before ever in Zombies, where we had, you know what, we just get a little bit before the big boy map?
Yeah, a tweet or a GIF or something. Yeah, something like that. And people are gonna say, "Oh, you're crazy! You're out of your mind." And
chat's
crazy, and it's okay. And again, the disagreement, healthy discussion involves disagreements sometimes. That's totally okay. That's worth pointing out. The reason I'm going to say that, and because people can jump into this and quickly learn stuff if they just read some intel. You know what I mean? I feel like, and I made the whole storyline explained video 3 hours long with TGR. Do you know how difficult that video was to make? You talk about everything from start to finish. Somebody in the chat pointed out that they don't like Kravchenko and Weaver being part of Zombies now. What I will say is, this is what happened with Apothecons and Keepers from Ether from BO3. Apothecons and Keepers were always there in the zombie story since World at War. They were just called Vrilya. They were kind of worded differently. They were always there. Blundell brought that into the spotlight in Black Ops 3. Brought it to the forefront. Explained it more. Gave it some purpose. Same thing with the campaign connection. Campaign connections have always been there since the very beginning. It's always been canon. But Black Ops Cold War is putting that into the forefront and really emphasizing, yeah, it's all been connected. Could Zombies go into its own canon after this game? Sure, wouldn't complain about that. But right now, as it stands, everything is canon to one another. So that's the thing. I think me personally, I'm ready for a new chapter. That's why I'm happy with the story right now. I think my favorite part about it, the reason I even agree with that point, is because there were like 4 or 5 threads of story going on in the background since Die Machina. And they're all being woven together as we get to Modern Toten. Whereas Ether before, it was like one story, but then it was like mumble jumble with multiverse, timelines, plot holes, and it was great. It was fun to theorize and speculate. But it got real messy to a point where I consider myself a quote-unquote expert because I've been here since World at War. I'm able to explain it, understand it well, but tell that to a casual or to explain it to like, it's going to take a couple of screenings of the story video to get them to understand what's going on in that story. You can have a vague understanding of it and it's fine, but I love where this is going. Whereas with Ether before, it was like pretty predictable. Like the whole thing with, another Xville cutscene in Outbreak. But Black Ops 3, as good as that game was, every cutscene in Black Ops 3 was also the same. Take a summoning key, grab a soul. Summoning key, grab a soul. Summoning key, grab a soul. 3 times in a row. 4 times in a row, you can argue. Same thing. Story was rich. We cared about the characters 100%. But the concept was the same each time. We knew what we were going to do. We knew who we were going for. And we knew where we were going as well. Every single map in Black Ops 3. Yeah. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that. You can like that all you want. But at least with Cold War, it's like everything's just like, okay, they left some hints and breadcrumbs here and there, but stakes are high, man. We don't know what the fuck's happening, which is awesome. The intel gives us a good idea of what's going on, but the director's still a mystery. The accursed one's apparently in charge. I mean, there's a lot of mysteries with what's going to happen soon. So, zombies aside, though, talking about community, E3 was, I think, a bit of a strange one because last year's was canceled. As we transition here a little bit, E3 was canceled last year, but it seems like even with the cancellation last year, this year's wasn't necessarily that hot. I mean, did you watch a part of it? Some highlights? I mean, what do you think about E3 if you knew much about the event itself?
I watched the Nintendo like direct showcase that they had.
Gotcha.
That's all I watched of it. But
I will say with E3, what I found really funny now was because you have PlayStation and Call of Duty partnered, now you have Battlefield and Xbox partnered. The gameplay reveal, and Xbox's E3 panel was pretty cool, by the way. But there's a problem with it. I'll get to that. Battlefield's gameplay reveal, what I find really interesting is people are already saying it's going to be the second coming of Christ. It was going to overtake COD. The gameplay reveal wasn't received that well by a lot of people. People were like, oh, it was a vehicle simulator. It wasn't much shooting. I mean, The maps are huge. I mean, people were like, all right. I mean, you saw some gameplay, but it wasn't anything crazy. And it's like I said before, people comparing Battlefield and COD. It's like, wait a second. Battlefield's a $70 multiplayer game coming out. COD's going to be a $70 campaign multiplayer zombies and Warzone game coming out. How do you compare the two? It's apples and oranges here. So how do you feel about the Battlefield reveal not picking up the way that people thought it was going to? I mean, what, are you surprised? I mean, what's up with that?
I'm kind of sad we moved on from zombies, but because I had a
feel free to wrap that up and go into it real quick before we touch on E3.
I just see some intro cutscenes, and I feel like the only purpose intro cutscenes fill is that you're just spamming your button on your controller to skip it every game you're playing solo. So
great to watch like the first time, and then you just never want to see it again when you boot up the game because you want to boot up the game fast and not rewatch it. I mean, probably a lot of budget that goes into it for for no fucking reason. I loved them back in the day, but
just for people to spam, for people to skip
spam X. What they could do though is like with each season that drops, drop a new zombies cutscene as the intro for the season for zombies. But map intros, I'd rather than put more into the outros, man. That makes the Easter eggs worthwhile. That's kind of my take on that.
All right. Anyway, back to what you're saying about E3 and Battlefield.
Yeah, thoughts on the gameplay reveal not really delivering the way people thought it was going to. I mean,
well, I think for the people still like coping with the fact that it wasn't like up to what they were expecting, especially with only 6 seconds of gameplay, where people are shooting guns in an entire I don't even know how long the clip was, 180 seconds. I think that's what it was. In a game about shooting guns, there was only 6 seconds of shooting guns in it. So I might play it. I might not. Most likely not.
I picture the Black Panther meme. Is this your king? Like, was that what you were waiting for? I mean, I'm not even trying to hate, man. If you guys like the Battlefield trailer, God bless you. But it's like I said before, it's Battlefield. I mean, people that they expect this COD killer, it's never happened before. It's not going to happen now. I think they have a different agenda with this game. There was no answer to Warzone either, which Activision's probably relieved about. There is no Warzone competitor dropping in the foreseeable future, not neither from Halo or Battlefield. So, somebody brought up the Take-Two panel from E3. God, I watched the clip of that, and I'm like, were they just unprepared? Did COVID hit them that hard to where they couldn't even, in a year, they couldn't get a event planned out, or 2 years, I should say, because they canceled last year's. Kind of confused on that. I think Take-Two's panel was a sit-down Zoom call with developers just kind of talking about inclusion and some other stuff that wasn't really games related. It was just kind of developer shit, you know what I mean? It wasn't really any game reveal of sort. So yeah, that was real strange. I saw that chat. I know that. Xbox's panel, I'm like, yeah, cool. They delivered on some things, but like I was gonna say earlier, I'm like, look, the problem with Xbox, I saw some tweets about it that were funny. If people have been waiting, I think it's been 5 years since the last original AAA IP to Xbox that was exclusive. 5 years. And the next one's not going to happen for another couple, 3 or 4. So that's why I'm saying the whole Game Pass argument I see is almost coping in itself of like, oh, we don't have exclusives like PlayStation, but we have Game Pass. Haha, Sony sucks. But I would say I don't care about playing old games on my next gen platform. If I want to do that, I can plug in my fucking PS3 or PS4. I want to play new games. It's like I don't give a shit if you're playing Xbox original games on your Xbox Series X that are 15 years old. I don't care about those games. I beat them already. Why do I want to play them again? Play a next gen platform.
That's a good point.
If I'm playing a next gen platform, I want to play new games that take the power of that fucking console. It's like, but if you like Game Pass, I get why you would. It's like PlayStation Now or PlayStation Plus. I mean, it's cool to have those abilities, those perks of having the subscription, but we're the new games. You know what I mean? I think Xbox had a real problem, and I have an Xbox too. I'm not hating on it. I have a launch Xbox One that I gave to my brother, but I just think Sony's where it's at for exclusivity, Call of Duty, of course. I mean, I have no reason to buy an Xbox. Another thing too is like with Xbox, like, oh, most of the games are available on PC. Because you have the people that I find funny that are like, oh, we're mad that PlayStation gets these games that don't come to multiplat, but those same people will be okay with Xbox exclusives also coming to PC. I'm like, which one is it then? You want exclusives, but then you don't. I mean, I don't really the whole. That's why the whole console war thing's a joke. Because have your have your privileges, have your preferences, whatever you want. And also, I'm not defending COD exclusivity at all. It exists, so I'm gonna have to deal with it because I cover COD on my channel. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to defend it. I think there shouldn't be exclusivity, especially for Call of Duty. I think everybody should get everything at the same time. But it's gonna keep existing because PlayStation is the dominant platform for Call of Duty, whether anybody likes it or not. It's just a fact. The contract actually expired. I think it was last year or 2 years ago. They renewed it for another 5-6 years. It's not going anywhere. So I saw a tweet out there that was like, oh, history always repeats itself. Consoles never win the race twice. What they mean is that Xbox 360 dominated PS3, PS4 dominated Xbox One, so this means Series X has to dominate PS5, and that's already not happening. The PS5 has outsold the Xbox Series X and S 2-1. The ratio is 2-1. So it doesn't look like Xbox, unless Xbox pulls a miracle in the next few years. But sales don't matter. Who cares? But the coping I see is like, oh, Xbox is going to pull through. And it's like, can you just enjoy your console and just live with it? You know what I mean? It's not a big deal. No one cares.
The coping.
It is coping because it's like people are like, oh, history repeats itself. Xbox will prevail. It's like, well, if the ratio is 2-1, logically, business-wise, financially, could that ever happen? I mean, I don't know.
And if it does, and if it would to overcome it, does that make the servers for the PlayStation go offline? Does that make all the consoles short circuit and just explode?
I saw an argument.
What happens when it sells?
I saw an argument that said Sony's still down, and somebody replied, "How?" They said, "Well, they sold twice as many consoles, but they're not selling as many games as Xbox has." I'm like, but the first part of business in this is selling the hardware so that people buy the games later. He's like, oh, well, Sony doesn't care about the console sales. What do you mean they don't care about the console sales? They care about everything. Console sales, game sales, microtransactions. It's like, dude, it's, again, coping. I mean, how else can you describe it? Competition is good, though. I think it's another good point to bring up is competition, let's say for Call of Duty and Battlefield, Xbox, PlayStation, it's good when there's a good competitor out there because it encourages the platform of the game that you like to do better, to expand, do more, compete with XYZ that's out there. Warzone and Blackout wouldn't exist if Fortnite didn't. So you got to, if you like Warzone and Blackout or either or, you got to be happy Fortnite exists because it caused Activision to say, all right, let's change the way we're doing things. Let's make DLC free. Let's do season passes, or let's get rid of season passes. Let's do battle passes. And then from there, healthy competition is a thing. But I always say the people out there on the internet are all the ones arguing, going at each other's throats, choking people and sack people around. But who's laughing? The publishers and the investors are laughing like, we're banking, bro. We're doing fine. You guys are over there killing each other over fucking plastic, and we're making bank. No one cares. It's like nobody up there at the hierarchy cares about, oh, PlayStation, Xbox. They're making their money. They're sitting on millions, bro. They're wiping their ass with $100 bills. They don't give a shit about this quote-unquote console war on Twitter. Like, come on, dude. It's like, grow up, too. That's like a fifth grade, sixth grade discussion. Oh, I have an Xbox. I have a PlayStation. I have a Nintendo. Like, come on, dude. Really? Go ahead.
I see some people in chat saying like talking about the console wars, and our argument is against console wars.
It's literally against console wars.
Our whole statement is how stupid it is.
It literally stupid.
Who cares? Like, Xbox have more sales.
I don't give a fuck.
You're just boasting a company making like money off you.
Money off of you.
Like, I don't like what the heck?
I'll tell you the best one yet. When people say Modern Warfare, best-selling COD, they may like it. Cool. Do I give a flying rat's ass about that? It wasn't my cup of tea. It wasn't my cup of tea. Black Ops Cold War could be second under that. Could be first above that. I still prefer Cold War over that. Sales don't tell me what's better. Same thing with the box office sales, this, that. It's like the numbers don't always tell the truth. Numbers don't lie about what's going on, but they don't always reflect how you're going to feel about it. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing to remember. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, come on, man.
Example being Paul Blart Mall Cop, like a movie. Paul Blart Mall Cop, a movie released in like 2008. I love that movie.
I love that, dude. Who doesn't?
It has a 22% in Rotten Tomatoes, but I still love the movie. Like,
you
Paul Blart Mall Cop, shout out.
You can look up a list of like top 10 underrated films. I'm pretty sure you'll like at least one of them. There's movies out there that got destroyed, by critics and whatnot, but I find them great. You know what I mean? Some Adam Sandler movies I thought were funny, good storytelling, good writing. And the movie sucks, but It's like, come on, man. Like, there's movies out there that I think are really good, but critics are not going to tell me what's better. I mean, critics, I think there were critics before. They were like criticizing the MCU, criticizing that, and I'm like, who gives a fuck? Like Martin Scorsese, I love his films. His opinion on the MCU, for example, we'll go into that real quick. When he's like, oh, they're like theme parks. What he's trying to say isn't the movies suck, but they're appealing to a different audience in comparison to his films. They're more like, you know, family-friendly, energetic, cinematic universe type movies. He might not even like the movies. That's totally fine. But people were like going at each other's throats about it. I'm like, let the guy have an opinion. Who cares? You can like one thing over another. If you say you like Avengers Endgame versus Goodfellas, then cool. No one cares. If I say I like Wolf of Wall Street versus Captain Marvel, that's my opinion too. Maybe I think that. It's like, what's wrong with that, man? It's like the whole thing with division. It's not even just politically in the world right now. It's just in every avenue, in media, and anything, games, all this division. And social media kind of feels that too, because people are buying their keyboards, talking shit, eating cereal, you know, in their shorts and their boxers. Of course, social media fuels that division more. But I really hope I live to see a day where we see people just come together and say, let's have a healthy debate, let's disagree on something, and let's just, you know, go our separate ways, or have a healthy discussion that we can talk about other things. We can, you know, connect it to something else. It's like I hope we see that, you know, one day. But, you know, will we? You know, maybe not. Maybe social media is the problem. They have to shut it all down one day and restart. I don't know, man. People were just kinder, man. When I went out of town a couple weeks ago, where I was, I mean, it wasn't really a tech savvy place where everyone's on their phones and shit. So people were just the nicest people I ever met. So I don't know if it's just the area or this lack of social media there. I don't know what it was, but the toxicity, man, it's hilariously stupid. It really is. But I think it's also worse when you see a content creator fuel that more with their followers. Like, I wrote this in a tweet the other day. I'll pull up the tweet if I have to, if you guys don't believe me. I wrote a tweet that was like, it's weird how people that are generally more positive get flack, get called Activision shills, they get called ass lickers, they get hated on. That people say that they're fanboys. Whereas people that are more negative get more praise, get put on pedestals, get, donos, get big sub counts. The world works like that, which is very strange, right? People that are more negative get this praise, and people like negativity, I think is the point I'm making here. I mean, it's very well obvious now, I think, with Call of Duty especially. I mean, what do you think about that division there? I mean, do you think are you surprised negative people get praised like this with these opinions that everything sucks and go back to the past? I mean, what's up with that?
Well, if you want to get into some five head shit,
yes,
it's like basic. It's basic psychology for the human brain to lean more toward negativity. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're trying something new. Your brain will immediately say, I'm gonna suck at this. I'm gonna go do this. And it's gonna go bad. The brain just generally always leans toward negativity, which, like you said, you can see people generally would more flock to negativity in that sense, because it's what people naturally do. Because when you start to think positively, you're challenging a negative thought, and that usually takes a deep amount of internal mental conflict. Big term
there, and it's like that's why.
Not really, but yeah. Anyway, yeah.
In terms of Call of Duty, though, it's like that's why I'm really hoping Vanguard and Modern Warfare 2 the next 2 years knock it out of the park, because I'm enjoying this game so much. Content's great. Community looks great so far. Obviously, there's toxicity here and there, but I'm loving the energy that I'm seeing, at least. But I really want to see this momentum continue for the foreseeable future in general for COD, because right now people are judging games that haven't been revealed yet. They're jumping to conclusions. I mean, people might not like the next two games, and they might look back at Cold War and say, "Oh, what did I miss? Look at the game I slept on all that time, and it won't be active anymore." Take advantage of the time you have now. Believe me, chat. I'm telling you. Believe me when I tell you. Sledgehammer's a new studio. They're not the same studio that made World War II before, Advanced Warfare. It's a whole new studio. Expanded upon quite a bit as well. So I'm hoping they knock it out of the park. They should. I have faith in them. But if they don't, then realize what you lost if you skipped Cold War because you're hating on it because your favorite YouTuber told you to. You know what I mean? And it goes back to the whole thing of people out there that have been done with Call of Duty for years, but can't face it. They like making negative content for money. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know what it is. And yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. It's one thing to see like clickbait nonsense. It's another thing to see straight negativity because you don't like the game. You don't even play the game, but you're someone making opinions on it, reviewing it. Like, huh? How does that work? You can't say already. I see a wrong statement here. I saw someone speaking wrong here, and this is what I mean.
What?
You can't say Cold War is a decent COD because it's not. The fact that maybe Zombies is better than BO4, but it's not compared to anything great. The entire statement is legitimately incorrect. There's nothing about the statement that is at all a fact. First part, you can't say Cold War decent COD. Who says we can't say anything? The fact that maybe Zombies is better than BO4, I mean, there's no fact that any game's better than any game. It's all subjective. It's not compared to anything great. I mean, what are you arguing there? I mean, no one can tell anybody how they feel, what their opinion is. I mean, you know what I mean? Sounds like Gaming Revolution, all he does is talk crap about other creators. Where? I mean, I literally never see that. I see him being ridiculed and blacklisted for things that actual COD partners do, and nobody gives a fuck, but... You know what I mean? I don't see him. I know him personally. He's a great friend of mine. He really does not like that energy with hating on creators and confrontation. He's not a fan of that. But if you don't believe me, you don't have to believe me. Again, whenever somebody says, "Oh, I see this guy does that," they never show any proof. They never pull up any evidence, never receipts. I mean, something really funny we're gonna get to in "Who Are These People" segment was somebody telling me that the other day I made a video. Before Season 4 dropped, there was a way to play the season early, legitimately. You can play everything early. Zoo and local. All the multiplayer maps were available through a PlayStation glitch on the activities tab. You're able to do all of it early. I made a video about it. It did very well. But I had comments that were like, "Oh, it's clickbait. Why do you post this?" I mean, where's the clickbait? like Lex said, where is the story? I'm like, where is the clickbait? And they will never respond with where the clickbait is. It's like, why do people talk so much out of their butthole without any backing to it? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I mean, we're not perfect people. Everybody makes mistakes. We all can be held accountable. I want to be held accountable to every standard possible to the community. I want to make sure that mistakes get addressed. We improve the best we can, make the content better. But people that talk shit, it's like, where do you get this from? I really don't understand it. But it's like I said earlier, people that generally are more positive and I think post the right content get more flack than people that are posting the wrong content that is straight negative. I don't understand that. But just the internet. Just the internet. You also have something you wanted to present real quickly. Might as well get into that before our favorite segment. If it is the right time, let me know. What?
I mean, yeah, I guess I can say it. It's just
let's go into it real quick.
So I had a very busy day today with doing a lot of client work. You know, I had to leave my house for a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, a little story time. So like today, this morning at 12 a.m. I was doing a thumb for you. Right. So,
right.
You know, finish the thumb for you. That's done. And
a sexy thumb for tonight. Can't wait to post it.
Yeah. That's going to be, that's going to be tonight. I went to sleep. I woke up. I did a thumbnail for Caspa Z. If you guys know what that is.
Ooh, yep. 88K subs, right? Something like that.
Yeah. Beauty man. He loved that thumb. And then TGR hit me out of nowhere. I did that thumb for him. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm done for the day. And then I get a special DM. And it was right at the perfect time. E. coli espresso. I did a beauty render for him today. You know, and I don't know. I like presenting these things in the podcast because
applause.
You know.
What are the applause emojis in chat? Get some applause emojis in the chat there. Absolutely insane.
Like a clap.
Easy claps, easy reads. I think he was waiting to hit you up because he was out of town like 3 times in the past 2 months. I think he was just away making like scheduled videos. So I think he was waiting to come back before hitting you up for some work. That's awesome, man. There you go. E. coli.
Yeah.
There you go, man.
Yeah, very, very...
What's your resume now, man? You got Noah J. Let me make sure I memorize all of them. Noah J. Milo. Pizza. Casper Z. E. coli. Ink Slasher. TGR. Myself. If I count. That's 8. Who did I miss? Oh, there's somebody else.
Man.
Who's the COD Mobile guy? COD Mobile.
The beauty man.
Ryan. I forgot Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan. 9.
Ryan.
There's somebody from who was making COD Mobile content or some shit. What was that? Was it
Beauty, Parker the Slayer.
Parker the Slayer. That's a 10 or 11. 10 or wow. Hey, man. That's a resume.
Wow. Perfect timing. He just his E. coli's video actually just went up. With
Did it just? Oh wow.
The render in it.
Wow. We totally didn't know the scheduling of the video.
That's perfect timing.
Let me pull it up. Let me see that. I don't know the thumbnail. I don't know what it is. Oh, is it? Oh no, wait, that's not it. Hold on. That's a cutout. I was gonna say, was it the fucking new skin? No, was it? It's out right now. Oh no, one day ago. Is my YouTube glitched? It doesn't show me
just look on Twitter. He just tweeted it.
I have a thing on YouTube where mysteriously, when I open up YouTube, sometimes it'll be like somebody might have posted, and when I click their channel, it doesn't come up for like 15 minutes. But on Twitter, I'll get the link and their video's up. I don't get. Must be a glitch with the system. E. coli. Oh, wait, okay. Yeah, we got a jackal, spicy jackal in there. Did you make the roadmap too, or just the render?
Yeah, he just asked for the render. He likes to. I think he makes the actual thumbnails himself. So beauty man. Beauty
Oh,
man.
yeah, got you.
Super nice as well.
Yeah,
so.
chat. You know, with thumbnails, man, it's like it's not my expertise. I don't think I'm the worst. I can pull off some decent shit every now and again, but I think I just love having the best quality graphics possible for my thumbs, man. I think without boasting, without sounding like a cocksucker, what I would say is I put a lot of time into my content, editing, commentary, perfecting things. OCD is through the roof sometimes. It's hard to get stuff done, you know, on certain days. So I love just having the best possible thumbnail to just reflect all the time that went into the work. I mean, it's incredible to see. So round of applause to the man himself, Fajardi. Got some nice applause emojis in chat. Appreciate that, guys.
Yeah, I was just looking back at it. Sean said congrats.
Yes.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Revive said Fajardi doesn't anymore. He just does
greatness. Well, okay. Wait, steal PlayStation's tagline, greatness awaits. That was the PS4 tagline. Greatness awaits every time you come out with some juice. And you were ready for some new skins, man. You're like, Season 3 Reloaded we maxed that shit out for thumbnail ideas. We were ready.
I used every single skin, almost every single skin in season 3.
That's insane. Do you know Lego Unlock? I actually do know. I don't know him personally, but I know of his channel. I heard about him. He's posting some interesting content as well. But he's said you made it. Yeah. There you go.
Before we move on, just want to say I'm grateful for all the stuff I do, for on the channels and stuff, for anyone's channel, and I'll never take it for granted. Bless up.
He's gonna be the next Tim Hansen. Who, Fajardi? Or Lego Unlocked? or who?
He means Lego Unlocked.
Lego Unlocked.
Okay.
Does he do custom zombies though? How's he the next? I don't get how he's the next Tim Hansen. And what?
It's just maybe just
channel
because
size.
Of yeah.
Yeah, I high five high five to anybody in channel. High five. There you go. Thigh waffles. You were in my gameplay stream. I remember your name the other day in my gameplay stream. I was gonna say though, I'm like, when people say you made it, I'm like, the definition of you made it is different to everybody. I mean, what is the definition of you made it to a sense of content creation, graphics design? What threshold do you hit before you say you made it? I mean, me personally, I would say making it for me at least is just being grateful enough to do it full time as a career and see where it goes from there. I mean, that to me is all I could ever ask for, man. I'm grateful for that. You having the clients that you have and getting your name out there and enjoying the game that we're covering. I think that's another way of making it, which I think you're at. So it's absolutely incredible.
Say last thing, and then we'll move on to who are these people? Like you're just saying about the "you made it" comment. I mean, I'm just getting started, baby.
Yeah, I know. Cliche, but I say the same thing. I'm like, I've been doing YouTube since I was 11 years old, 2011. I'm making videos in any way possible for COD since I was 11 years old. I'm now 21. 2016 rolls around, BO3. I start doing more professional videos, cleaner editing, learning how to do better commentaries. I had a speech issue I was overcoming. Got that done. Black Ops 4, first game, I was able to do it full time as a job, actual earn a living off of it, and go from there. It was a huge risk I took, a huge leap of faith that I took, trying that out. And we went through a very, very tough year with Modern Warfare when I was active. Like, what was there to cover? It wasn't a year for multiplayer, for zombies. Warzone came out late. It was a tough year of content. We still survived that. And I had it here in my chest. I was like, look, Black Ops Cold War is going to be the game to kind of get this channel off the ground. We're going to hit some goals. We're going to make sure that game solidifies the fact that I'm doing this as a career now. And pixels and numbers on a screen don't reflect the passion and love you have for something. It's nice to see that. I hope to hit 100K at some point soon. That's been my only goal on YouTube, right? Besides doing it as a career, hitting that number. But the number will never change how I feel about the content, how I feel about the game, the community aspect of it. My favorite part probably is the community aspect, interacting with you guys, doing this podcast, talking real and speaking some facts and, debunking false info that goes around that needs to get debunked. I love all of that put together. So, appreciate that. Punk G said he wasn't subscribed. He's been watching me. Hey, man, I'm glad he did it now. Now's a better time than ever. Sub growth is hard sometimes. I think, YouTube's a very interesting platform as issues in itself where sometimes not everything's in your control when it comes to making content and trying to grow, man. I'm trying my hardest. I love doing a variety of videos with, gameplay, news, streams. I'm trying my hardest here. So I appreciate everybody that stuck around. And I hope that you guys continue to do so as we transition to Vanguard in the next couple of months. But I think it's time for the wonderful segment. Who are these people?
Who are these people?
All All right, so pulling up, we have quite a few comments. We're not going to read through them all, obviously, but I want to read this one first. I'm not sure who this person is, who he's referring to. Your channel is bad, and you act like Sir. How do you say that? Of GTA, and what's worse is you act like Mr. Boss for the win from GTA, and everyone knows he is bad, but you're on a whole other level of bad. What is bad exactly? No answer. Damn, like damn, compared to Mr. Boss for the win, who's like known for notorious clickbait. It's like, I'm really looking to do different types of content as we enter, a new Call of Duty soon. But everything I posted, I can't. I mean, please refer me to a video that just isn't true, or a video that has a title that isn't true. You know what I mean? So again, just hilarious hate here. Wow. Oh, this is I did a community post, right? Of season 4 is live a little bit early, guys. You can play it, and here's how you can do it. I made a video about it. Community post of that video was like, why do you have to lie? And I replied to him like, where's the lie? Season 4 is literally out early, and I show it very clearly in my new video, which I linked, and the guy never replied. Fajardi then changed the names of 2 skins that are in season 4 to put in my thumbnail that you'll see down below right now. We named the tier 100 reactive skin Chameleon. Thought it was a cool name to give him instead of, what's his actual name? Iridescent, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he named the Chameleon just for fun, and someone said it's a misleading thumbnail with a lie in it. I'm like, where's the lie? Change the name of the dude. Is that really a big deal? Like, you really nitpicking at
literally the leak skin was still there. So
the leak skin's still there.
I'm sorry, man. Your life is ruined because
your life is ruined for
the name was right.
We had somebody in here that said, "Damn man, it's like this type of clickbait that made me unsub the last time." And I'm like, what is the clickbait? The season's literally out early, and I show exactly how to play all the new maps in my new video. No answer. So again, it has to be somebody on a burner account that just loves to throw some shade. Or maybe likes this segment on the podcast. Screw you, DK. Sorry, buddy.
Classic.
Sorry, dude, you did the percentage thing in the beginning, so I'm going to have to flag this vid and downvote it. Can't stand sub begging, especially before the vid has even started. How do you encourage people to sub without mentioning it politely? Like, hey, I noticed, I mean, every channel does this, by the way, that actually cares about their subs and their community. A certain percentage isn't subscribed. Don't forget to sub if you guys want to down below. That's all we say. We're like, please sub to me, bro. I don't have money to eat tonight, bro. I need a sub, please. Like, is anybody doing that? Am I doing that? Like, I mean, am I saying sub for a giveaway? Like, I do giveaways like once every couple months. What were you gonna say?
I do like kind of resonate with this if it were to, be like you said it was, or like you're actually begging. But I mean, the way that you do it, most content creators do it. It's like you do the little intro, and then you say a few things, and it's like, oh yeah,
it's a formula.
By the way. Sub,
And it's one thing too. It's like
a lot of people do it,
and it's one thing too because YouTube, like the people that watch me, somebody in chat said it a couple minutes ago. They've been watching me, they weren't subbed. Maybe they forgot. Other times, people are subbed and watch me frequently and get unsubbed because of a sub purge or some BS glitch. So I remind you, hey, but just in case, want to sub. You know what I mean? So that's why I remind people. It's just not begging. I mean, if subs earn you money, I can see why people would think that more, but there's no monetary value in subscribing at all. It's not like I said, please watch this video in full. Please, I have time. Dude, you realize you want to talk about something real quick?
Also,
go ahead first.
I think you might be actually getting in this a little bit, but if you look at average watch time of most videos, most people don't make it within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Most people don't make it like to the end of the video. So if you say at the start of the video, a lot of people are going to see it.
I've hit a trend over the past year since Coldwar's been out where my watch time will usually be anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes. Grateful for that. That's hard to achieve, no matter for a new channel. I'm not a new channel, but for anybody out there starting YouTube, that's a hard thing to achieve, getting good watch time. If I make a video that's 20 minutes or even longer than that, and I've been on more long-term content lately because there's a lot to talk about lately. So I've been going off on a lot of tangents and recapping things and really explaining things to the fullest. People are making it 5, 8, 10 minutes in. That's almost half the video they didn't watch. And I'm putting all that time into the video. I'm not going to say, please watch the video in full. My God, I don't have enough to eat tonight. I mean, you got to watch it in full. No one's saying that. I do timestamps, which not many COD channels do at all. Very few do it. So if anything that can even hurt my watch time when they're skipping around from timestamps and chapters to what they want to see, I still do it. I think that's just the most transparent way to make content these days with timestamps. But just my opinion. All that aside. Guy going off on a paragraph. I really like you, DK, but I quit watching your stuff because so many titles misleading. Case in point, Maruto and gameplay. Come on, bro. I've been in a couple months. Did you not see the game? There was actually 2 gameplay reveals. There was one of their broadcast, another one at the end of the trailer for the season. I went over. I put gameplay preview. it's literally gameplay. It's not a cutscene. If it was a cutscene, different. It's literally gameplay. So, more power to you. Thank you, buddy Ivan, becoming a Victus member of the channel. Really appreciate that, my guy. Much love.
Huge goat. Let's go.
Laugh my ass off. DK hyped over nothing. Berlin should have been out at least a month ago. You're not wrong at all. He looks like a fanboy getting hyped for over the littlest thing. Can I not like the game?
Wait, the littlest thing, wasn't there literally just a huge bombshell announcement of an entire season worth of content?
Yeah.
Littlest thing.
That's funny. I'm trying to comprehend this comment. Don't be surprised if they turn into just a Warzone Battle Royale game because the way they're moving, they're on their downfall. Vanguard will show them that, especially with the sales of Modern Warfare 2 Remastered comes out, the only shit I'm playing other than Halo. I do not understand this comment. I do not understand what this comment says. Congrats, Quality Quant. Thank you so much, Ivan. Really appreciate that, man. Really appreciate that. Timestamps are lit. I fully agree. Fully agree. This comment makes no sense. I never seen a COD channel lick the asses of game devs more than this guy. With every single setback and issue, he's constantly finding a way to defend the company. I don't see how. They've been effing us over for years and continuing to. It's pathetic. So I guess they aren't working at home under a pandemic. Pandemic's pretty much over, but they're still working at home, so things are not as easy as they used to be. Not defending them either, man. I just be optimistic about it. Appreciate what's being given because that's all. That nothing we can do. We can cry all we want, but that's what we're getting. So might as well appreciate it if you like the game. Couple more comments here. We'll go through a few. Don't know how you don't see a problem with a studio releasing less and less content every year and lack of quality with the content as well. Hope Vanguard gets canceled, honestly, before it ends COD for a lot of people. If COD's at a peak, I don't know how bad this game could be to where it ends COD, right? I mean, they have to miserably drop a game with one campaign mission, one multiplayer map, no zombies. I mean, how do you end COD with a Vanguard game, right? We don't even know about at all yet, by the way. Any thoughts? You say anything? I don't know if you're going to say something. You might have saw a comment.
Nah, I'm good.
There always be a COD defender. There will always be COD defenders. Wait, there will always be COD defenders, a multi-billion-dollar franchise, even if they took a giant turret on your doorstep. They know a lot of people only care for zombies and to release less maps. I didn't even read the rest of the comment there. Holy shit, man. Yeah, Activision dropped a turret on my doorstep. Would I make a video on it? Would I stream it? I mean, what would I do? Activision did this, or Activision sent me a package today. I don't know what's up with that, man. Cold War was asked and huge disappointment. They need to just start making zombies like BO3. Way past that. Cold War starting to be a bigger fail than BO4, even though I thought it was okay, minus the blue screens and crashes. I mean, sales and player base say otherwise, so don't know where they're coming from with that. Let's see. I think that's pretty much going to wrap up. Damn, I don't think you could have jammed in more ads if you tried. I mean, on a 25-minute video, 8 ads is not a lot, and they're all skippable. Plus, YouTube's a free platform where they now have the ability to place ads as much as they want, even on non-monetized videos. So it's out of our control at this point. Complaining about ads is silly, man. I don't get it. There's no universe where Outbreak is a proper DLC in terms of zombies maps. Yes, Outbreak is an amazing side mode, but that's it. Cold War and its lack of actual round-based maps is the final straw for me. But how do they go from BO3 to this shit? I feel like this person would have been the same person that would have said that it's a copy-paste every year. Reminds me of Ghost, right? Where Ghost was like an innovative boots on the ground game. People were like, oh, we're sick of this. Copy-paste every year. Came out with jetpacks. We were still crying. So it's like if they would have came out with a BO3 sequel that's exactly the same, people would have said there's no innovation. It's all the same. What have they been doing all this time? You can't please everybody, man. Cannot please everybody. Let's see. Can't wait to see Treyarch's business go in shambles in the future. I mean, think they're looking better than ever, man. They're hiring more people than ever. Don't drop the sheep mentality, in quotes, as you act like a literal sheep. I don't see a problem with them canceling content and putting a paywall for a map we already paid for. When did I say that? When did I say they've canceled content and put it behind the paywall? I've never actually said that. Also, the working from home thing, it's a video game, lol. If they don't have another DLC after Berlin, you better smack yourself in the face for calling us sheep. Damn. I wasn't calling anybody sheep. I called out sheeps in general. But if you felt threatened, maybe you are a sheep, right? Hey, I don't know. I mean, I call out sheeps in general for not giving the game a chance or disliking it, but not accepting that it's the future. You know what I mean? Sheep mentality is saying BO3, 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 but that era's over. Move on. That's sheep mentality right there. But hey, I'm not calling anybody out specifically. I'm just saying either accept it or move on. That's all you could do at this point. We'll go to one more. There was a tweet. Oh, yeah. when I said people got to hold their horses about the rumors when DLC 4, did we actually talk about that last week? That happened last podcast or not? When DLC 4, maybe that's what I forgot to talk about today, which we'll get to after this anyway.
Maybe the leak thing.
The leak, it's actually a really, I'm glad I got reminded about this. We'll get to that after the segment here. But I tweeted, people got to hold their horses with the rumors. I see unreasonable expectations with unconfirmed content. Somebody replied to me, people are rightfully upset. We bought this game expecting at least 6 maps, but due to Treyarch's incompetence, we're only getting 3. My issue is expecting is the first problem with this. I'm like, what were you expecting? There's no season pass, no confirmed content past D Machina. Expecting you can say, oh, well, we got this many maps in the last games. This game's different. Made under a pandemic. Maps are free. I mean, I wouldn't expect very much, but we gotten a lot. So, interesting expectations. Interesting expectations here. I don't get this one. Love how you can watch someone get strangled to death, but when the YouTubers say a no-no word, they take the money. I think he's talking about how we saw Jackal strangling somebody in the season 4 intro, but then when somebody swears on YouTube, they get demonetized. I mean, double standards on YouTube definitely exist. But I think that'll just about wrap things up for this week's segment of Who Are These People. I think we went through all the other ones that I had on this list here. But yeah, some funny comments. And as to reiterate, as I mentioned before, this segment is just for fun. Like a hate mail segment, just to read some funny comments, make a joke out of them, debunk them. It's not to say let's boast negativity and let's place people on pedestals, not give them attention. It's something fun we got to do, right? It's just something fun to add to the podcast. I think it's fun to do. You guys seem to like it, so people out there that are like, oh, your whole podcast is negative. It's like, no, we're just having a civil conversation and reading some really funny comments. But I think you're right. I think that rumor got debunked after the last podcast. So there may have been one thing that we didn't get to touch on in the topics list here. Let's do it now. So a rumor surfaced that there wouldn't be a DLC 4 in Black Ops Cold War Zombies, and apparently it's canceled and being ported to Call of Duty Vanguard. This was tweeted out by Call of Duty Hope. And Call of Duty Hope is a known data miner in the community who has data mined some very accurate information before. But information wasn't data mined. He said that a source told him this. And the source apparently had gotten information right in the past. I don't know the source. I don't know where they got this from. I can't speak on that. But it was pretty quickly debunked once the Toten gameplay tease happened with the Season 4 marketing. That Toten is the next. It says next map, Toten, not final map. They would have made that clear because Tag Toten was marketed as the final chapter of Black Ops 4 Zombies, whereas Toten isn't. So we'll get at least one more map. Tom Henderson then reiterated that he has heard, and he's got reliable info in the past, he has heard that there's one more map scheduled for September, which is right around the time when Tag released anyway, a couple of years ago. So that got debunked. And then Call of Duty Hope then tweeted, I took the L for the leak. It wasn't true. And we knew this from the beginning, that Toten couldn't have been the last map. How? What did they do from July to November? Do you not do anything? Do you do another outbreak quest, more regions? There's no way. There's no way, right? So that got debunked. I knew it was debunked. I knew it wasn't real to begin with. I made a video talking about it. I'm like, look, let's play with the possibility that it may have been true, right? Let's just say they somehow did that. I don't really have a problem with enjoying other aspects of Cold War until Vanguard drops, and then Vanguard continues the Dark Ether storyline. I don't really mind that. I kind of get the frustration as to how silly it looks to have only 3 round-based maps in Cold War and then Outbreak. It looks silly. But when they labeled Outbreak as DLC 2, what does that tell you? There's 2 more DLCs left. Toten is officially DLC 3, so what's DLC 4? Oh, see, I wouldn't even care if there was another round-based map after Berlin, but they come out with like a Green Run Outbreak DLC 4, which is like a expansion after Berlin, kind of telling the story again, like a Revelations type Green Run region in the Dark Ether all the time, but it's Green Run or something. You go from area to area doing objectives. I wouldn't mind that if that was DLC 4. I'm not complaining. But again, rumor's not true. But the problem though is you do have the YouTubers, man, who titled their videos or even provided a commentary that was definitively saying the rumor was true. And the Cold War's dead, game sucks, no more maps after Berlin. It's not true. But what did that do? Feel the sheep mentality. So I'm glad that we got reminded about this. How do you feel about this debunked rumor now about no more maps after Berlin? Thoughts?
My thoughts on it is it really showed that people were just looking for a reason to hate Cold War for no reason.
Right.
You know, as soon as this rumor came out that had pretty much zero basis, zero anything behind it, and it was inevitably proven false, like you said. I think it's crazy that everyone jumped on it so quickly. Like they almost wanted it. Like they wanted it to happen. They wanted the map. They didn't want a DLC 4 for some reason. Like they wanted the game to fail.
Hey, remember what I said earlier? They want the game to fail, but they want more round-based maps. So do you like the game and want more maps, or do you want the game to fail and you're happy about this news? It's like people don't know what they want, man. But you know what I thought of instantly when this rumor came out? I picture people sitting at their desk on their chair like this. And I know people listening to this can't see this, but if you're watching this on YouTube, people on their chair like this. They hate Cold War. They maybe like Modern Warfare, like BO3. They're sitting there like this, waiting for some bad news to come out. They're just sitting there waiting, eyes staring at the computer. Bad news comes out or gets rumored. Yeah, just refreshing Twitter. Just click. They see some bad news and they're like, they jump out of their chair like, yes, bro, fuck yeah, Cold War sucks. Yeah, let's make a thread on Twitter, bro. We got him, dude. We got him. Treyarch's like, come on, dude. That's all. That's what I'm seeing with this shit. That's what I saw with the Call of Duty Hope rumor. People jumped the gun in 5 minutes. They couldn't even let another insider or leaker come out and say something. But what I will say, there could be basis to the leak. Right? What if somebody even DM me something about this? I don't know if it's true. Again, I can't. And I like to reiterate this. I am not a leaker. I'm not a data miner. I'm not some fucking insider in the gaming industry. I report the news. I bring you the news. I care about this franchise. I love the franchise. I make videos about it. I do my best to compile the info for you. I'm not a leaker myself. Hope that is clear to everybody. But I got a DM that was like, by the way, there's basis to this leak, and here's what happened. There was a map planned after DLC 4, a round-based map. That may have been a year 2 or who knows what. That did get ported to Vanguard. I'm like, okay, not saying it's true. I can't confirm it, but maybe that's what happened. There was another map. They're like, you know what? This maybe fits better in Vanguard, or we're going to repurpose this layout for Vanguard because they're running out of time. Maybe that's true. But Call of Duty Hope, from whatever sources, went ahead and said and reiterated and confirmed a Zombies Chronicles 2 was ported from BO4 to Cold War. You don't have to believe them because this information about DLC 4 being scrapped was wrong. Maybe it's not true. But then Tom Henderson, a separate insider on his own, who leaks Call of Duty, Battlefield, been around for years, he also went ahead and tweeted, Zombies Chronicles 2 ported to Cold War. We don't know if it's going to release. So I hear this, and I'm like, all right, you don't have to trust all these leakers. You don't have to put all your eggs in one basket. You don't have to ride with this in the sunset at all. You could just say it's not true. You don't have to believe it. But if it is true, it's like I was hearing myself as a content creator a year and a half ago. People that were leaking all of Modern Warfare, all of Warzone, actual leaks and data miners out there, gaming insiders, they were hearing that, yeah, there was maps planned for BO4, got scrapped, and got ported to Cold War. Will we ever see them? I don't know. I made videos about it. I was made fun of for making those videos. People were saying I was making things up, clickbaiting. Where's the clickbait? If the insiders today are saying the same shit that was being said a year ago, where's the clickbait? The maps got moved, and they did. Will they release? I don't know. Will they be saved for Treyarch's next game in 2 years? Maybe. Will they come out as a year 2 bonus for this game? Totally possibility, but it's like I'm telling you. That's why I would hate to be known as a leaker or a data miner. Because even if Call of Duty Hope has good intentions, this guy who spread the rumor, even if he has good intentions, you're always walking on thin ice. Think about, picture that ice cracking beneath your feet, and you're tiptoeing. Your toes are frozen, tiptoeing on cracked ice, and one leak or one rumor that may have some basis to it may get debunked, may get scrapped, may get changed. All of a sudden you're the worst person ever. Maybe his intentions weren't that good. I don't know the guy that well, so I can't speak on that. But assuming his intentions were pure and he wanted to present some info he thought was true, he's walking on thin ice. Because even if the leak at a moment's notice was true, gaming is complicated. Things in a matter of weeks, months, years can get changed, scrapped, moved, repurposed. I mean, things could be set in stone with trailers ready, with release dates, and can still get scrapped. That's how Call of Duty works. We've seen that happen too many times. That's why I always lack understanding here of where the critical thinking is. Why can't people realize that if a Chronicles 2 was done for BO4 and got moved and scrapped, why is that hard to understand? It's like, oh, you made videos about it. Yeah, what other videos could I have made last year? It's like, I say this too, last year was rough. It's not that I was, making things up for clout. No, it's like, what topics were interesting that I wanted to cover that were Treyarch related, aside from COD 2020, aside from Warzone, aside from Treyarch teasers in Modern Warfare. It was like, maybe there's some zombie stuff there, Victus rumors that surfaced every now and again. About once a month, I made a video about it because there was new info from new leakers out there. I just reported the news. You know what I mean? So, that's the thing. And I would never want to ever be a leaker, I would never want to be in that position or in that spotlight. Never. I don't care if I was guaranteed good information for life. It's just not worth it. That kind of attention is not worth it to me. I mean, it's risky. It's like things get changed and then you're blamed for it as if I'm a developer, as if I'm you know what I mean? So what are your thoughts on that tweet from Tom Henderson saying that, yeah, the map's reported? I mean, what's up with these rumors lately? I mean, are they lining up with what we heard last year, or can things be changed?
Definitely makes a lot of sense that it was ported because of obviously how the events of Black Ops 4 went down, like behind the scenes, with budget being cut, etc. So I think I don't know. It's kind of like a Modern Warfare 2 remastered or multiplayer remastered anomaly, except Zombies Chronicles 2 actually exists.
Right.
It's that weird thing where it's like, oh yeah, they're just sitting on it and they're just waiting, like they're legitimately just sitting on it at this point.
I said it in my video the other day. I was like, don't even pretend. I mean, pretend I don't exist for a second. Don't even listen to me about all the maps being ported or whatever. Who cares what I say? The evidence was there in game in BO4. What all the evidence do you need? The entirety of Black, not a portion, the entirety was done. Lots of transit was in multiplayer. I mean, what else do you need? So all that aside, point being is walking on thin ice with this shit. That's why I'm like, I have always said this. I will never talk about Euro Mountains or Zombies Chronicles 2 until there's new information that's available. And when there is, I'll talk about it. I was chasing stories about both of those things for months, for years. So I care about the stories whenever there's new info. But speaking of Euro Mountains, it was confirmed in a Treyarch broadcast that Zoo is not coming to Fireteam multiplayer. It is exclusive to Outbreak Zombies. So does that confirm we're not going to get a Euro Mountains Battle Royale map in Cold War for Fireteam elimination? Does that confirm that Euro Mountains never come into Warzone either? What does that confirm to you? If Zoo's not coming to multiplayer, then does that rule out Euro Mountains as a whole, as a big-ass map like that? What do you think?
Now, specifically in the broadcast, did they say Fireteam? Did they just say it's not coming to Fireteam specifically? Or?
They specifically said it's a Zombies exclusive region. That's how they worded it. They didn't name drop Fireteam or multiplayer, but I guess that's what that means, right? What else would that infer, really?
Yeah.
That I can guess.
I mean, I don't really care. It's more content for zombies, I guess, and it can shut people up about being it's just ported multiplayer maps because that's Zoo is literally not a multiplayer map anymore.
Yeah, it never was. You could say, oh, it was at one point when they were developing Euro Mountains, but you know what's so funny about that? They could, let's say that for Outbreak we only got Ruka, Alpine, Sanatorium. Let's say everything else was Zombies exclusive. Let's say all the other regions were multiplayer and zombies. Or let me restart that. Pretend that every region in Outbreak was exclusive, and maybe only one or two of them were in multiplayer. People would still say, oh, it doesn't matter. The maps were designed for multiplayer to begin with. They're not zombies maps. It's like, what does that mean, though? Even with the Zoo announcement, people were still saying, oh, it was still designed for Fireteam. It doesn't really feel like a zombies map. What, like, how do you, where do they win in that scenario? You know what I mean? Where do they win there? I think Zoo is a great region. I would love to see it in multiplayer, but I'm not complaining that it's zombies only. I think that was like a direct, like you said, a direct answer to the feedback that, oh, we need zombies exclusive regions. I will remind you of one thing, though, which we probably forgot to talk about. Back during, I think, Season 2, Treyarch sat down with a bunch of content creators, and they confirmed to them there will be non-Fireteam regions coming into Outbreak at some point in the future. We all speculated these must be regions that aren't the Euro Mountains, right? Like the ones we're seeing now. It must be a green run, a zombies exclusive location that we haven't seen before. What if Zoo is what they were talking about? What if they were talking about, hey, we're going to end up locking a couple of regions to just zombies that won't come to multiplayer? Maybe they won't bring Zoo, Weather Station, Mines, Battery. They might not bring those to multiplayer, but they will to zombies. Do you think that's the case, or there will be, or will they end up coming out with the actual zombies type of region that isn't anything like Euro Mountains related at all?
I mean, all I'll say about that is I would love to see a mines map for Outbreak. I think that would be.
Well, yeah, what's up with that? Yeah, let me pull that up real quick.
That would be the ultimate. I mean, obviously, I think every region generally plays a little bit differently. I mean, not a lot, but they generally do play just a tad bit differently than one another. But I think if you add something like mines, where especially if a large portion of it was underground, say you go underground like this giant like the cave systems and stuff, I think that would be a really nice change up, and especially scary for zombies. Especially like mimics and stuff.
Oh yeah, have people forgot that in real life, the Euro Mountains does have secret caves? And one of the most known caves, the largest cave, is called the Orta in real life. How ironic is that? So that's why I'm like, look, when a Blackout 2 was in development, it was gonna one up what Blackout did in terms of what I think is zombies boss fights, Easter eggs, wonder weapons, zombies locations. It was gonna innovate the battle royale scene, give us a unique map that had locations we've never seen before in Blackout or even in Warzone. Blackout 2 had potential, so that's why I'm like, damn, if they bring Euro Mountains at some point, will it be Warzone? Maybe not. That's probably the least likely. Fireteam Elimination or Outbreak. Outbreak would work, but I mean, the thing is, I want to see the map as a whole, right? All the regions connected. So I guess Fireteam Elimination is the only place that can happen. But could Cold War handle that many people? I don't know. Could it handle that many people in a match? That's the problem.
I just thought of a crazy idea, and this is a super awesome idea I just had, but it's sad it's never going to come true. So it's actually quite depressing I'm saying it, but like, so say if we did get this Earl Mountains map, right, with Ruka, everything in one, I could just imagine they would be doing something like they would weave the zombie story into live events on that map.
Oh,
that would be crazy. Like imagine Operation Inversion going down as a live event on that.
You can see the missiles flying from the Battle Royale map to the ocean. It'd be something like simple just to watch them fly. I mean, they could say for limited time event, go underground in Euro Mountains where the caves are. Go underwater, swim to like a secret cave.
Swim
because
swim
because the cave. Oh yeah, we'll get to that too. The caves, by the way, I forgot to mention, are underwater in real life as well. Underwater caves. And I'm assuming you can get to a surface at some point, right? You swim, and you get to like a surface level under the cave. An order could be there, right? And imagine the challenge having to fend off against enemies in the battle royale like Blackout. Because in Blackout, you want to go to the cemetery, fight a Blightfather, you got to deal with some enemies that might third party you, they might snipe you. You got to watch out for enemies too while dealing with a zombies boss. This also exists in COD Mobile's battle royale. You got zombies boss fights, but then you have enemies that might chase you. So do all that, throw a live event element into it. Because that's what this could have done. The Blackout 2 over Blackout 1 would have had live events probably like Warzone has now, but probably more frequently. Or at least not live events where it's a quote-unquote live event, but at least a limited time event where you go to a certain area of the map and something special is there waiting for you. A boss, a wonder weapon. That would have been sick, man. Seeing Order Underground, Operation Inversion taking place. I mean, all these what-ifs, right? I mean, woulda, coulda, shouldas. I think it's healthy to talk about because this map could still drop. It's some form, maybe. You know what I mean? But perfectly leads us into our next segment, which is the Vanguard's Warzone map. Somehow, I don't know how, don't ask me. Somehow, Vanguard's Warzone map is already leaked. The locations for it have surfaced as of last night. We'll get to that. But before I forget, you were talking about swimming, right? You can actually have fun in Blackout. You can swim. In Warzone, it's like, nope, trained operators, trained professionals can't swim. I still can't believe that's not a thing. Will that ever be a thing? I don't know. What I'm going to assume is that when Warzone gets plucked from Modern Warfare 1 to probably Modern Warfare 2 in about 2 years, maybe the engine change or something will allow them to add swimming. But for now, it's like, yeah, we saw Euro Mountains in Warzone. What's the point? You can't swim. Sanatorium's there. Oh, well, you're going to drop to your death every time. So I'd rather see this map in Cold War where swimming actually exists, where you can actually have some fun. You know what I mean? But before we get to the locations that leaked out, how the hell, can you explain this? How the hell are Vanguard Warzone points of interest already in the files of the game? How? Can we explain that? I mean, what on earth is going on here?
I think it would probably stem from, like, obviously the map's being worked on right now, so they have some type of build of it done, and maybe they were testing it on a live build of it for whatever reason,
right?
And they just forgot to take it out, and then that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing these locations. Maybe they took the actual map itself out, but they forgot the little breadcrumbs, like the locations.
Yeah. As far as the locations go, Airstrip, Arsenal, Beachhead, Caldera, Capital, Docks, Farms, Lagoon, Mines, Resort, Radio Station, Subpen, and Village. This is via Glitchy, who data mined this first. Will this replace Verdansk 84? That's unknown. Will this replace Rebirth? That's also unknown. But if we're getting a World War II revamp to Warzone altogether, then I'm assuming they'll get rid of Verdansk and Rebirth. That probably will be the case, and we'll get a smaller scaled map to replace Rebirth later on in Vanguard season. But I saw some comments that were like, oh, these locations sound too similar to Verdansk. And I'm like, aren't they a little creatively limited to how many points of interest they can make for a Battle Royale map? I mean, what can you really do? How many locations can you come up with that haven't already been done in Fortnite, in Warzone, in PUBG? It's like how many areas of the world can you cover, right? How many strips of land can you put out there? You know what I mean? So these locations, I mean, do you think this is the final list or just a part of it? It doesn't sound like this is as much as Verdansk right now. I could be wrong. What do you think about that?
I think the list is pretty healthy right now. I don't see anything like too lacking content wise of it, especially if it's like I mean, if you're doing Vanguard and you're talking about Pacific Theater, like, and if there's not swimming in a Vanguard Warzone map,
Right,
where it's set in the Pacific Theater, I don't know.
I've lost hope in in the Warzone engine at this point. That's why it's like, oh, Warzone's engine better. Warzone's engine is better than the Cold War's. It's like, okay, but you could think that, sure, but in Cold War I could actually swim, so okay.
Oh my God, swimming makes the game better.
Yeah, that's the thing. Swimming doesn't make the game better at all. But I'm just saying, Cold War has capabilities that Warzone doesn't right now. So we'll leave that there. Oh, by the way, you can also have 120 FOV, or I'm sorry, 120 hertz on Warzone now with the latest update. If I didn't cover that already, this little update. There's a picture though that surfaced. Who posted this picture? Was it Nanicos? Who first? Or maybe it was Glitchy. Who first posted this image of? Trying to find the image. Somebody posted an image. I'll pull it up real quick, chat. Somebody posted an image of what looks like a Panzer Zug, which is an armored train from the Second World War. It's rumored to have a role in the live event revealing Vanguard instead of Warzone. Somebody posted an image of it on Twitter claiming it was a data mine picture. It may have been data mine, but it's a stock image because the image actually isn't COD related at all. Do a reverse image search on Google, and it's actually an image that's been around for like 5-6 years. Not COD related at all. So let me find that image real quick. Do you think the reveal will be Season 4 as a surprise, or will it be Season 5 thing they come out on the roadmap with in the next couple months? What do you think about the Vanguard reveal?
I mean, I have realistically, I have zero clue of when they're going to reveal that game. I mean, didn't they say they're going to do it earlier or like soon? And on one of the investors' calls.
Oh, it's COD Perseus. I think they said that they've reevaluated how to reveal COD. So what that tells me is that we're going to be seeing a similar reveal window like Cold War, where it's later in the summer. But I think it'll be different from Cold War in the sense that they'll be more prepared this time with more to show. Maybe the event will be a little bit cleaner than the Cold War one. I love the Cold War reveal, by the way. It was great, but I'm very interested. Yeah, thank you, Dane. Yeah, it was actually COD Perseus. I think Declassified might have tweeted as well. Here's the image I'm talking about if you guys are watching this on YouTube. This image isn't actually leaked of Call of Duty 2021. It's a stock image of a train from the Second World War that could be concept art from I don't know what, but if you do a reverse image search of this, it'll come up on Google from like 2017, 2018. It's nothing new. People are using this as thumbnails from World War II a couple of years ago. So he said, I want to know your opinion. I love Cold War. I'm terrified about Vanguard. Since hearing Treyarch is possibly helping, I'm afraid this means no Cold War Year 2. Even if they help, it's an IW engine. Again, as a reminder, engine means nothing, right? Engine just means what the game's running on. The engine of Cold War is a hybrid of Black Ops 3 and a couple of tools for Modern Warfare 2019. The engine of Vanguard are presumably the same one that Modern Warfare is on, but it doesn't mean that developers can't control how the gameplay feels, how it looks, how the mechanics work. Engine doesn't change anything. Engine does not mean that the game will feel remotely like Modern Warfare, but it may. It may. If Treyarch is helping, though, I'm afraid to say that, yeah, Year 2 is probably out the window. But even if they aren't helping Sledgehammer at all with Vanguard, Activision might not be interested in Year 2s at all. Because Modern Warfare was that successful, and they didn't double down or drop more content for that game all that much. A couple of maps, weapons here and there. There are still weapons to this day that haven't dropped. The Soap bundle, which probably is going to release with Modern Warfare 3 Remastered. I mean, there's still content on the table. So I think Year 2 is unlikely, but if Vanguard has zombies not connected to Dark Ether, then we can maybe talk about some small updates to Outbreak, maybe some, I just don't have the greatest thoughts about a Year 2 right now. I don't think it's going to happen. I want it to. Look at me, I really want it to. But, if they're helping Vanguard, then, I mean, what do you think, man? You think they're going to do a Year 2 for Cold War, or is that kind of out the window already? What are your expectations
like you
for that?
said, I want it to. I really do want it to, because imagine getting a Year 2 full of, you get 12 seasons, and look what we already gotten in 4 seasons, and we still have 2 more seasons to go, and then you'd get 6 more seasons after that, or whatever it would be.
Yeah, I think they're capping them at 6 probably. Someone in chat said, I'm a software dev. The engine will almost surely mean it will play like Modern Warfare. But look at Cold War, for example. It's a enhanced hybrid of BO3. It doesn't play like BO3. They chose to put Modern Warfare Warzone mechanics in Cold War for Fireteam, for zombies. They can choose to make the game look and play however it wants. Maybe it'll feel as smooth. I think Modern Warfare feels great. It feels smooth. I prefer Cold War, but they announced it about Vanguard. I'm not complaining. I'm like, all right, let's see how the game looks and plays first. There's actually a leaked image out there, which I can't show you for obvious reasons. People are claiming that there's a World at War HUD over in Vanguard. So looking at gameplay this early in the game, I mean, it's not that early. It's already June, but I mean, let's not judge pre-alpha gameplay. Like I know somebody did that last year with Cold War. I think it was gameplay leaked out of Garrison, and somebody's like, "Oh, it looks terrible." I'm like, Garrison's not even a top 5 map in Cold War multiplayer right now, so who cares? You know what I mean? Always searching for something to complain about. Yeah, Journeyman, I have to agree with that. It's like that's just the nature of Call of Duty, though. I mean, when do you not see that happening? That's why I say I hope one day to see a bit more of a brighter and healthier community. And maybe the content creators are the issue. Maybe we need a clean sweep of older creators who have, run their course, tired old mules who are done with Call of Duty already, need to be swept out or need to retire, put the controller down. Or maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just in general social media that fuels that division. I don't know what it could be. So let's see what happens with that, man. I mean, looking at the Vanguard leaks, I mean, I think a reveal is inevitable for Season 5 if it doesn't happen in Season 4. I think it originally leaked as a Season 4 event, but may have been pushed back. It's not on the roadmap, so unless they just surprise reveal it one day, I don't know how they're going to do that. But the Cold War reveal was that successful last year. They did it so late into the year that they're probably looking at doing the same thing this time around because they know it worked. I'm not sure if they care about April or May reveals anymore. They're probably looking at like July, August. That's kind of their target for reveals at this point. Anybody try the Fireteam Satlink mode yet? We tried it on stream briefly, and I love it's like a hybrid of Dirty Bomb and Hardpoint, but really tactical. I think we were getting stream sniped when we were playing it, but we'll see. The Cold War reveal actually was on the roadmap for Modern Warfare. There was a teaser. Which season was that? Was that Season 5? Let me pull this up.
Season 5, I think.
Yeah, you guys will see what I mean in a second if you guys are watching this on YouTube. But I'll describe it the best I can if you're listening. So, Modern Warfare Season 5 roadmap. That's a good point, actually. The Season 5 roadmap. Yes, here it is. I found it. Actually, I'm gonna pull this full screen, actually, so you guys can see this. I don't want it to be too small. Save image as Season 5 roadmap. Let's pull this up all the way on screen here. So, at the very right side of the roadmap, you were able to see it said plus more. Let me see. Here we go. It says plus more. Actually, I'll zoom into it a lot here so you can see. Right here at the very bottom right, it says plus more. And you see the little flames. This could be a stretch, but I swear this is the case. You see little flames in that little box there with a plus. It doesn't emphasize what the plus more means, but if you look at the Treyarch animatic, their MCU intro, there are flames like that in the background of the Treyarch logo. So I'll go ahead and pull that up as a comparison here. Let's go to Treyarch's Treyarch animatic 2020. Maybe they'll make a new one for COD 2023. I'm very curious how they'll pull that off. So if you look at the very end of this animatic, you can see the exact same embers and flames that were in that roadmap. So that's why I'm like, here it is. That's why I'm like, that's probably what that roadmap was teasing. The Black Ops Cold War reveal in Warzone. So, yeah, we'll have to assume that we'll get a mention of that on the roadmap at some point in Season 5. Unless they surprise us. I won't complain about that either. If you just tuned into the podcast right now, again, this will be available to watch again as a VOD once it's processed on YouTube. And it's available on all major audio platforms that you can re-listen to at any point later on. We're going through all the topics that were in the box on our right. Another thing you want to mention, Fajardi? You're going to go into something?
I'm getting pretty tired, man.
I am too. I had
a long day.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap things up with our last topic here, and then after this podcast is over, chat, I'm gonna go render out my new video, and the video will be published probably in the next hour or two, a little bit after that. So be looking out for that one. It's a Zombies Juicer. Might be my last Zombies video for a while until we get some more Modern Toten teasers. But yeah, I got lots of material from Season 4 to break down this weekend. So this Sunday is also Father's Day, so I'm not gonna have a gameplay stream this Sunday as expected, but I have videos on deck to go along with that. Wednesday was a long day for me too. Wednesday was wild, man. I posted an extra video, which was the early Season 4 content that went live. And then shortly after that, the video did well. Shortly after that, I went live with the countdown to the launch of the new Battle Pass and whatnot. That was a long day for me. So yesterday, I just did the new Easter egg, recorded great gameplay of it, planned out my weekend, and then kind of took the night off to rest and whatnot. But today, we're coming back swinging with a podcast and a video. So last topic here was Season 4 Reloaded DLC that we know of right now. So people out there are already asking about this stuff. Season just started, so let's not jump the gun here. But we have a map called Echelon, which has been done for months. fits the theme of the season. So I don't know why they wouldn't drop it in season 4. Could it be a surprise on the reloaded roadmap that we get, or are they saving it for season 5? Right, a map takes place, I think, in Australia. It's kind of a hybrid of Vertigo and Dome, right? You're on the rooftops, you have a bunch of domes everywhere. Gameplay of the map already exists. It's leaked out. If you look it up on Google, I think Gfinity posted an article about it with the footage in their article itself. We have Rush, Black Ops 3 Remastered map. Cannot wait to see that. That is a beautiful map. Oh my god. I've been so busy this past week that I'm going to take this weekend, whenever I can, to grind some nukes out on Hijacked, Collateral. Amsterdam's fun. You got to get some gameplay on that. Rush is definitely a nuke-worthy map. That map plays very well. So if any Black Ops 2 map was ever going to come back, I was hoping it was going to be Rush. And there you have it. That's coming back. We then have Martyr Toten, one of the biggest zombies updates yet. I think aside from the map, though, we're going to end up seeing, obviously, a new perk. I mean, what did Craig Houston beep out when you've seen the broadcast when he was beeping stuff out? I posted it on Twitter. I'll put it up real quick. That was funny. That was really... Go ahead.
I was going to say, from what I've compiled from a whole bunch of people talking about it, is that they were talking about the new perk, Mega Barrels, which were like the leaked Wonder Weapon coming, where you change the ammo type on your weapon.
Right.
And they were talking about Peck having dry humor and stuff, which is which lines up really well to his character from what we've already seen in Firebase.
That's so interesting, man. Yeah, I was like, they were beeping stuff out. I thought it was hilarious. The good comedic effect there. Definitely talking about perks, because they say the word perk after they stop beeping things. So I think he would have said double tap might have gotten a glow up like Deadshot did. I think that's what they were going for. Could there be 2 perks on this map? Because there's 3 slots left for the Wonder Fizz. Totally possible to see 2 perks. Mega Barrels, a big topic I'm going to touch on tonight in a video. Something that leaked out a while back and didn't make an appearance in Outbreak, which I thought they were going to, right? Kind of seeing arc attachments on your weapons to shoot out the abilities of the special enemies in the game. Could that be something they get to add into Martyr Toten? Sure. Or could it be a Wonder Weapon that has 4 elemental upgrades that have the abilities of the special enemies in the game right now? I mean, it can go either way, but the Mega Barrels could also be nothing. They could just be ways they were testing a new Wonder Weapon, and the placeholder for it was this arc attachment barrel on an XM4 basic placeholder. We don't know how that's going to work, but yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. Data miners who leaked the Mega Barrels have said they may be nothing. Yeah, I said the same thing. In a video too. It could be nothing, but yeah, totally possible. Intel that surfaced already kind of suggests that they're experimenting with the enemies in the Dark Ether and making weaponry out of them, so that could be suggesting the Mega Barrels are going to come. The intel's been very spicy, so if you want a full recap of what's going on after Operation Excision, I have a zombies-focused video dropping tonight. But yeah, for Reloaded, there could be surprises too. I think Season 3 Reloaded didn't have too many, 2 Reloaded didn't have too many. Season 1 Reloaded kind of surpassed expectations with a surprise roadmap, with Firebase, with Express. Will we get a Reloaded like that ever again for Black Ops Cold War, where it has content on it that wasn't announced, content on it that we didn't expect at all, that never got leaked? I mean, I hope to see that. But yeah, to kind of wrap things up on episode 13 here, definitely drop any last-minute questions in chat you want us to cover, and we'll go ahead and get through that. Got about, I think next week's episode will be the last one you see with the thumbnail style of the podcast you guys have been seeing. Episode 15 will mark a season 2 for Bombcast. A little bit of start of a new chapter. We'll kind of change things up a bit, kind of add new segments.
No, it will be, I think it'll be 3 weeks, because you got to do 14, then 15, and then 15 will be the last one.
Okay, do you want 15 to be the last one of this formula? Yeah, we can do that then. So 16 will be the mark of a new season then. 15 will be the last. Sure, we'll do that. And that's fair, because there's about roughly 13 plus weeks per season in a year, right? You know, fall, winter, spring, and summer. So kind of following that season formula a bit. But again, we're not following the actual seasons. We're just saying, you know, every 15 weeks we'll change up the pace and the formula of how Bombcast does look on YouTube. Maybe 2 more maps. I'm betting 1 more map after Martyr Toten, and maybe a surprise to Outbreak, like a surprise region, but whether it be Green Run. I mean, could we see remakes also added in? Because maybe we see a remake to, let's say, Transit after DLC 4, and that brings us a bonus perk. I'll take that. I will take that. Maybe it doesn't further the story. It's just there for gameplay purposes. Just a pure remake that's there for fun. But I also want to shout out the voice actor of Jackal. If I could pull up his name, I think it's Gabe. What is his
Gabe Kunda.
Gabe Kunda. Let me pull up his Twitter real quick. Gabe Kunda. I'm gonna DM him actually, so we can get some games in. He does play Call of Duty. The voice actor of Jackal here in season 4 popped into my stream the other night when I was streaming the gameplay premiere of the new season. Came in, dropped some nice words. He was like, "Hey, I'm loving the gameplay." He's the voice actor of Jackal. He's a young dude too. I'm like, look at this guy, young, working on Call of Duty. What a guy! He's absolutely honored. He's shook that you can now hear him as the voice of Jackal. As he said, "This is nuts. Thank you." He could cry. I mean, this is absolutely incredible to see. I love that Activision's kind of looking at new voice actors entering the games industry and giving them a chance. I mean, I said this before. He's like the second best intimidating villain next to Stitch right now. I mean, they're on the same level, so I'm hoping that we get more of him in a future update. He's holding the hand cannon. What a badass. He has the hand cannon of all weapons. Like, he holds that as his primary. This guy's strapped, man. This guy is strapped. I'll hit him up to get some games in soon. I can't wait to see that. But yeah, I'm honored, chat, that Black Ops Cold War has been the game I wanted it to be. It's been the year I wanted it to be in terms of content, in terms of energy on our end. We're teaming up with voice actors, MJ Crazer, Damon Victor Allen. It's an honor myself to be saying we're playing with the actors who make this game special, and we're actually playing Call of Duty with them. But yeah, any last words, Fajardi, on Jackal? You want to get some games with him soon? And what's up with Gabe?
I looked at his YouTube. He seems like a pretty cool dude.
Does he have a YouTube?
Yeah, he has a YouTube. Just search Gabe Kunda.
Does he have it linked in his bio? That's Linktree. He has Linktree. He does have it right here. Hold up. Here we go. He has a website first. Look at his. He has. Ooh, look at his little signature. Nice and professional there. Gabe Kunda. Look at that. He has his little his resume here. Wow. Wait, he was in WandaVision? Huh? He was in Tenet, On the Rocks with Bill Murray. Something I don't recognize. Welcome to the Loud House. Subway commercial. Something I don't recognize. My Hero Academy. Sounds familiar. Anime, I think. WandaVision. Yep. What was he in WandaVision? He's in the TV spot, I think. He did a voice or something? Oh, maybe he was one of the civilians in the town. Wow. Okay. Gabe Kunda, congrats. Some demos there. I'll go to his YouTube channel real quick. Let me drop a sub on this lad with 1.6k subs. Welcome to my channel 6 months ago. Look at this guy, how professional. He has a little setup going. Nice camera. I mean, this guy is ready to rock and roll. And he's in Call of Duty, bro. What in the actual hell? God bless these guys. I mean, Chad, it's just, I'm beyond humbled to see that people like this, just absolute pure human beings, hop into my chat and see what I'm doing on YouTube. I also want to thank you guys so much for allowing me to be on in the top, I think, #1 spot and then top 3 for the rest of the night for the Black Ops Cold War category on YouTube Gaming. If you actually click the game of who was streaming the Season 4 countdown, I was there at the very top along with Raid Away and somebody else. #1 at one point. Apparently I had more viewers than people on Twitch that were streaming this game in this countdown. So I'm like, hey, it's not about the numbers, but God bless you guys and thank you so much for allowing me to hit a milestone like that. I mean, I can't believe I'm seeing stuff like that. You know, years ago I was streaming the game, making videos to 10, 15 people. I mean, being able to see you guys drop support like that, I mean, you probably will see me cry when I hit 100K. I'll do a countdown stream. Majority might be in person with me. I'm going to fly him out. We'll do like an in-person get together for the countdown. I also want to do like a bit of celebration too. Where should I host it though? I mean, I want to host like a celebration somewhere in some state and like do a big venue or something. And I mean, it's hard to plan that because everybody's in different states. But thank you guys so much for allowing me to hit milestones like that. I mean, I'm so happy to be here. Loving this game. Seasons are getting better and better with Black Ops Cold War, at least in my opinion. You don't have to agree with that. So I'm looking forward to what the future holds here with Call of Duty. But somebody asked about zombies camos in the chat. No word on that yet. At least we're kind of moving along with Warzone updates. At least we got 120 hertz now. If you've updated the new texture pack with Modern Warfare and Warzone, depending on what platform you're on. So we're getting there. I mean, they better do it before Verdansk 84 goes away and the Black Ops Cold War integration stops. I'm hoping that we get to see Dark Ether. I almost have Dark Ether, so I'm close to that. I want to see the integration for it in Warzone. It's kind of something that should have been there, I think, at launch. I'm not sure what's taking so long, but it is on their agenda to do so. They also haven't dropped the next-gen application for Warzone on PS5 yet. We're still running a PS4 version of it if you're on PS5, so not sure what's going on with that. Journeyman, remember watching DK during the BO4 days? God damn, man, this guy's an OG. Appreciate you sticking around, my guy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have stuck around through the ups and downs and the innovation that I've hopefully inspired you with here on the channel, kind of changing up the pacing of the content, better content hopefully, and just, you know, covering it all. I want to take it all on. So lots of content on the way this weekend, guys. I have a video tonight Already got content on deck for Saturday and Sunday. Enjoy your Father's Day. Take care of your dads. Unless Raptor 1 was more kind to you than your own dad, then maybe you'll celebrate by X-villing on Cold War Zombies. But yeah, take care of your fathers. Take them out to lunch. Get them a gift. Do something. Spend some time with them. Take a day off the game. Take a day off the YouTube content. Schedule something. That's kind of what I recommend for that. Last comment here. Any tips for a YouTuber who wants to make videos? Definitely post what you want to post, man. Post what you're passionate about. Make sure the energy is there when you're making the content. If you want to grow and you want to do it as a career one day, be consistent. Make sure your marketing and titles are on point. And obviously, graphics and thumbnails, man. You want to make them clickable as possible. When I say clickable, there's a difference here. Clickable versus clickbait. Clickable is bold titles, big statements, really exaggerated things that are the truth, right? Maybe exaggerated, but are the truth. Never clickbait and lie, though. That's not what we're going to get far with. So that's kind of my tip with YouTube content as a whole. And Monkey D. Luffy. We actually saw you in a lobby recently in Black Ops Cold War. But right now we're on Fireteam. We saw Monkey Luffy in a game there, kind of by chance. Can I get a happy birthday shout out? It would make my day. Happy birthday, Monkey D. Luffy, right now on the podcast. Everybody out there, please.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday. Please, if you guys can, drop some cake emojis over in the chat to kind of celebrate that with Monkey Luffy. And as a reminder, I'll be doing more giveaways for Battle Passes once the feature gets fixed. But this about wraps things up for this episode of Bombcast. Somebody said, Lego Unlocked recommends shorts for creators just starting out. Yeah, I mean, to kind of get some growth in, Shorts is a very weird feature that gets pushed almost more than regular videos. So I would give it a shot. Not a huge fan of the feature, but yeah, maybe to get some growth in, definitely go for it. But if you're doing YouTube as a career, and you want to make money and you care about that, you're in need of that, Shorts don't earn anything. So I'd watch out with how I incorporate Shorts into my usual content. But yeah, wraps things up for this episode of Bombcast. Lots of content on the way. Thank God we did an episode tonight. I was kind of worried that we wouldn't get one in, but yeah, we made it. Video dropping very soon, hopefully sooner than later. I have one probably the next 2 hours, hopefully less, to see it up on my channel. Now look out for that. You're not going to want to miss it. Lots of spicy material that has not been covered on YouTube yet, so you don't want to miss that. And also, I will put the links to my Discord here in the comments if you guys want to join that. My PSN, Activision ID, all the works are in the chat in case you guys are interested in joining any of that. And no, I'm not going to beg anybody for subs. Please sub. I can't eat tomorrow, bro. I need a sub. Nah, man, we're not doing that on the channel, bro. But that wraps things up. Appreciate all the love and support here tonight. Appreciate the huge turnout as well. Thank you, Cajun Gamers, legend. Got to be along for the ride, DK. I would love to meet you, Fajardi, and the lads in person in the future. I will make that happen, man. We stick around. We keep hanging out and getting games in, man. We'll stay in touch. We'll make that happen in the future. But yeah, we'll be doing some gameplay this weekend. Sean, Cajun, Fajardi, we'll get some games in as well. With the lads. Get some Fire Team, get some Outbreak. Looking forward to it. But yeah, that wraps things up for episode 13, and we will see you guys in the next one. Any final words for Jardy? Did I miss something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm pretty tired, but everyone in chat, if you're still here right now, we appreciate you. You are appreciated. Even if you think you aren't. And yeah, make sure you do something for yourselves, either today or tomorrow. Just do something for yourselves.
Completely agree. And peace out, everybody.